Okay. Well, sorry for that late start. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Again?
But we will go ahead and just start right in there. Welcome, one and all in one, and everything in between to the last, very, very last Lost One stream of the year. We still have one more pseudo stream, on Tuesday, New Year's, to kind of bring in the New Year's. Could be a little different. Basically telling no one what we're doing, so it's all a surprise. Just be there if you want to play. But we will just go ahead and get right into it, I guess. Well, when last we saw the Lost Ones, they had just been settling into their new home, the town of Home. They had been given a place to stay, and they've been settling in there. Each of you were able to get your own room in this house. It was a fairly large house that was given to you guys by the Bill in the town after the previous family had moved out of it. You guys were able to get clothes, some food. You guys were able to go to the eatery to grab some, like good dinner. And you guys were also able to gather some information about the town and stuff from Bill, the going on, what's up with the void, all that stuff. Uh, Trying to keep it short because we already did a second introduction last week. Basically, you guys are settling it, figuring stuff out. You guys went home for the evening, settled in, went to bed, and supposedly over the next few days, you guys have openness to explore, do things, kind of settle in, before moving into anything crazy or discussing future plans. But we find you guys. You guys have woken up, stumbled out of bed. Anyone want to do anything crazy from waking up, or you guys just want to go down for breakfast?
Uh, Stone is avoiding that bright light sun as much as possible.
Yes. There's a few spaces here and there that like the sun peeks through the cracks of windowsills and things like that, but you and you just jump past it.
This.
Yeah, the only one who seems to be mildly, worried about the sun is Auntie, you see.
Secret
But-
vampire.
But definitely not as bad as you. Um but you guys make your way downstairs and you guys do smell fresh breakfast being cooked.
Nice. Who cooked that? Casper says as he comes down.
Hi! As you see the kid running around the corner.
Ah!
And he has a plate filled with pancakes.
Good job, kid.
Nice.
The nice lady came by again, and she just, she wanted to help with the morning. She was teaching me how to make breakfast.
It's a valuable skill to learn.
What are
Yeah.
you making?
Oh, eggs, bacon, and pancakes.
Pancakes?
Yes. Apparently, they're also called flapjacks.
Now that's one makes sense.
I don't think that Stone's seen pancakes.
His finger's like. Sorry, this is me being. I'm not sure if this is me being British, but flapjacks and pancakes are two completely different things. I'm like.
I understand.
No, I want you to do this in character. Say
Yeah.
they're two different things.
I'm just gonna stand there looking a bit puzzled and be like, do you put eggs on pancakes? Do you put bacon on flapjacks? I am gonna look confused.
To be fair, I
I mean,
usually
you-
dip mine in gravy.
I mean, I don't know. It's up for you guys, but you see the kid. You guys are kind of piled up by the stairs, just looking at him with a plate.
I'm hungry, so let's go get some food.
Okay. And he leads you guys right into the kitchen, where you do see the older lady assisting at the kitchen. She seems to be putting some slices of bacon onto like a communal plate.
Now we're talking American bacon, Canadian bacon.
There's a few different cuts. There are some that are a little bit thicker, some that are a little bit thinner.
I would take the biggest but least fattiest bit.
I'll take the thick cut.
I'll take the closest thing to pork belly there is.
Don't take anything.
As you guys all gouge for the plate all at once, the old lady, hi, yeah, there's plenty for everyone.
We
I'll
are
make
so
more.
civilized.
Yeah. I was actually expecting it to go the way at first. I thought she was like smack us all with the wooden spoon. Like, ah, food's not ready yet.
No, she actually looks very pleasant to see you guys all hungrily grabbing at her food. She actually kind of blushes a little bit and just kind of smiles at you all. And goes right immediately back to cooking. And you see the boy, he is sitting at the end of the table on a chair. He has like set the pile of pancakes down. There's other plates of pancakes, eggs, and bacon already on the table as well. And there are plates and forks and silverware and stuff already out.
I have to
There
ask,
also okay.
the eggs, are they fried eggs or sunny side up eggs?
There are sunny side up and scrambled. It seems like the scrambled may have some seasoning, some vegetables cut up into it, maybe little bits of meat and maybe cheese. It's hard to tell.
I shall take sunny side up and I shall look at the yolk with my sneaky tongue. Go.
And yeah, there is also a container of a red liquid on the table, and there's also a couple vases of water and orange juice. And there's another vase that you can't see through, but upon closer inspection, it's milk.
I'm surprised Scales didn't just take a raw egg from the cooking pile.
And why do you think I would take a raw egg from the cooking pile?
You're a snake, aren't you?
Wow.
As Stone just swallowed a whole uncooked egg. I'm not saying that's what you did. I just you all.
I just like that sound effect for eating. Just
Okay. It was timed with talking about the eggs, so I didn't know if you were trying to make a joke about eating one.
I mean,
maybe-
I could very easily see.
I mean,
Roll a D100, Stone.
I
Sure.
could very easily.
Because there
see
are
those
eggs
with-
on the table, and some of them are hard-boiled, and some of them aren't for the stuff. Okay. Yeah, you have an egg. It's crunchy on the outside. You kind of, the shells are a bit rough,
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
but it's nice and liquidy.
Fair enough.
Miss Lady person who I forgot the name of.
One you guys never asked her name.
Yeah.
She's looking at Stone. Oh, no, those weren't cooked yet.
It's fine to me.
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah,
And she just kind of looks at the pile of eggs, looks down, picks up a salt shaker, and just sprinkles a little salt on the eggs, sets it down.
that's good.
She's great.
Skills is just gonna put her hand and be like, you'll have to excuse me for what's the word I'm thinking of? Slight stupid question, but this one seems to think that my people eat raw eggs. Is that a thing we do?
I mean, I know of people who do consume raw eggs.
Camera pans to Stone.
Yeah, she's got. But I hear people sometimes bring them, on for snacks and stuff.
I'll have to.
But most.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but most people cook them.
I'll have to give
Yeah,
this
you can-
raw egg a go.
Yeah, you can get sick if you have too many of them. If they're, there's a lot of things that isn't really safe about it. But I mean, it seems okay relatively. She
Your name,
just
by the way.
awkwardly thought, "Oh, I'm Mrs. Doubtfrost."
Oh my.
Oh dear God. Nice. Yeah. No, I'll
And I
get
can
one of the.
make that up on the spot. Wink.
Your
And
middle name would happen to be Robin, is it?
Lucky guess. How did you know?
I have a lot of those lucky guesses.
She kind of smiles at that.
I will.
Food wise, Stone just having a bit of everything. She
Same.
had the sunny side, she had the scrambled, and then she's like, yeah,
Yeah,
sure, why
it
not?
is-
I'll have a whole like, blah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. The food is delicious and varied because she doesn't seem to know what you guys like. So there are bacon that is nice and crispy, and some that are a little bit more juicy and meaty.
Auntie literally takes a pancake, slaps on some pig belly onto it, folds it, and eats it like a sandwich.
I would take a juicy bacon. Again, that sunny side up egg. I would take a raw egg and try it. Go.
I would say crispy bacon, pancakes, and sunny side up eggs.
Okay.
And milk.
the kid looking at all of you guys, not understanding which one to go for, he's kind of looking at all you guys. He just literally puts a flapjack on his plate, starts just grabbing. As you guys are grabbing stuff, he's grabbing a little bit of it, and he's just putting it all on this pancake. And once he's done watching all of you guys, he just rolls it up and starts eating it like a burrito.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, it is way too big. Like he has to like bite it from the sides and stuff to try to get at it. Like
No, this kid's going places. This,
Yes, he is.
Breakfast burrito.
But you guys finish. You know, you guys start eating. It is delicious. It is delectable. As you guys start to peter out a little bit, she begins like starting to grab stuff, pick it up. She takes plates of food that you guys are finished with, and she takes this weird thin roll of stuff and wraps it around the plate. It seems to seal it to the plate like a covering, made out of a material you're not really familiar with.
Antu's gonna like observe it. Is this,
And for player reference, it's cling wrap.
yes, yes. Antus looks in. Is that like a magical force field or something?
Is that glass? Castor's like kind of poking it. Like,
Oh no, it's cling wrap. It's made out of plastic.
What's plastic?
yeah.
Don't drugs.
Oh, he said you guys. Oh,
We're a bit old-fashioned.
Yeah, there's some gaps. Just so you're
Well-
aware.
to be fair, I'm a little old-fashioned too. She is an elderly woman. I don't really quite get it. It's something that came out like I don't know, 40, 50, 60 years ago.
Like, is it from a rock or?
Maybe she kind of shrugs. She doesn't seem to know.
So, like, I believe we're more old-fashioned than that.
I think we'll get along.
I mean, most people can't tell you how plastic is made.
I don't like
True.
out of character. I don't know where plastic comes from. So
So there we go. Like you're asking a regular person, where does this special cling wrap come? I don't know. I just use it. I get it.
it comes from the store, kid.
I love
See,
this.
even more important of a question. Where does this come from? Holds up a sausage.
It's a sausage.
Yes, but like, I was trying to
That's
make
from an
how
animal.
I was trying to make a how a sausage is made joke, but I don't know how to set this up.
Oh, I mean, I think they kill an animal, they grind up the bits, and then they shove it in, you know, the sausage container.
Castor switches one of his sausages with a split bacon slice instead.
She looks at you. Oh, it's basically the same thing.
Eats away the bacon.
I'm a vegetarian now, Kestrel says.
I mean, admittedly, the sausage is very delicious.
He eats it reluctantly.
Alright, question, is this tube sauce for player, is this tube sausage or is this like more ground up sausage formed into like sticks?
Oh no, they're definitely you know, like links.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I'll stop talking about the meat.
No, I love the meat. Keep talking.
But yes, you guys have your meal. You guys ask your questions about plastic. And she begins to take all your stuff and put them in the giant white box that,
There's so many.
which none of you guys have really explored yet. You guys just
Yeah.
know it's cold because as she opens it, you feel a lot of cold coming out of it.
So what's that do exactly? He points to the box.
Oh, it keeps food fresh
But
by
it's
keeping it
cold.
cold. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm going.
It preserves it, kinda.
Yes. So then you don't have to salt all your meats and food all the time. Like it keeps them good for longer.
Not sure
that's
if
cool.
I like it.
I'm going to lean into Stone. I once knew someone who said that they claimed they caught like an ice elemental and used them as a familiar to keep their food cold. I bet you there's one in there.
No way.
How else does it stay cold?
At this moment, the hum of the refrigerator kicks on.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Yes.
Like 2 days later, like Scales and I come back. They've ripped apart the refrigerator, looking through it.
We'll find you.
Find you. And then
You're
when
in
it,
there
then
somewhere.
when it stops making the noise and the humming, they'll know that they killed it.
You died.
How much experience do we get for the ice elemental?
Yeah.
No, but as you guys are kind of poking the fridge, the kid walks over to the the sink, puts his plate in there, washes it, rinses it, and stuff like that, and sets it in the rack. And surprisingly, he ate the entirety of his burrito.
Good job, kids. You gotta eat food to grow bigger.
Stone
Also, you gotta
proofs.
drink milk.
I think the phrase is breakfast is the most important time of day.
Yeah.
Will
Okay.
be.
He's like looking at all of this information at once and just kind of nodding, like, okay. He walks over to the table and pours a glass of milk.
Good for your bones.
Well, if there isn't anything else you need, I do have someone else I need to go take care of now. So, I will be later back later this evening. I've Bill suggested that I escort you guys around your kitchen and show some of the things you might not be familiar with. So, in the
Yeah.
meantime, while we're gone, could you please not? And she walks over to the stove. Please don't touch any of these knobs and stuff. And then the kid chimes up, yes, because you can burn yourself. And she's like,
Auntie's-
good boy.
Auntie's just gonna say, look, I think I can figure this out. I mean, and I look over her stove.
Yeah, Bill showed us yesterday. I mean, you know.
Okay. She walks over to a cupboard and pulls out a very odd-looking chalice. Very, very weird. With a very thick and heavy base to it, where there seems to be buttons at the bottom. For
What's that?
player reference, it's a blender.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You had me confused. I was like, what the fuck?
So do we see like the inside of the actual cylinder with the blades?
It's a clear glass container.
Yeah.
Auntie just points and goes, I am not even going to try.
Okay, I'll be back later this evening. We can go over this stuff, and we can, as a group, we can prepare tonight's dinner. And she kind of smiles at you all.
Okay.
Sounds wonderful.
Bye,
So,
Mrs. Doubtfrost.
goodbye. I will be by maybe around 5:30 this evening.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you guys need to know the time, and she points to one of the walls, and there's her clock. And if you need to watch the stuff, you guys know about the clickers and stuff.
Yeah. I think we got told about the clickies.
And you know about the thermostat, correct? As she's literally like pointing stuff out as she's leaving, like a worried like grandmother who
What's
just
up?
saw their kids get into an apartment for the first time.
So it's like no, yes, no.
You know about the thermostat? What's that?
Okay, yeah, it's just here. I'll set it before I go.
Okay. What's it do?
It keeps the living quarters in a good temperature.
Make it nice and extra toasty. Extra toasty.
I don't
I
like
don't
it too toasty though.
Well, it's actually pretty hot outside, so I was thinking about keeping it a little cool.
How about you keep it cool inside in scales? You can go out and sunbathe.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good. And she heads out the door. She takes the couple steps down, and then she looks back towards you guys with like a little sense of worry, but then, reassures herself and then continues on.
She'll do fine.
I'm gonna go outside, find a place where I can just lay down and bask in the sun. It doesn't matter where. It could be in the middle of a pavement for all I know. I'm just gonna lay.
Okay, you walk out in the middle of the road and lay down.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I really hope she just finds a really big rock, but the pavement works.
And it takes all about like 30 seconds before one of them, automobiles comes rolling up. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can you please get out of the road? You might get hurt. We could run over you on accident.
So this isn't where you're supposed to lay down in the sun.
No.
Huh.
Is she like out in the front yard?
She is literally like 10 feet in front of your guys' house just on the road.
Crystal's gonna try to try to jig open the window. I'm at the backyard.
Okay, I'll just like pick myself up and go to the backyard.
It is a grass-filled backyard. There's plenty of spots for you to sit down.
Yeah.
Is there a rock?
No, there is not. There is a slight patch behind the back door of cement. I mean, you could sit on that, but it's not enough to lay down on.
Yeah, I want a
Note to
place
self,
where I can lay
find her a
down.
rock.
While this is going on, Auntie, if Scale's going on back, Auntie is just going to porch life this day. Get a big tub of orange juice, sit out in the backyard, and just relax.
Okay, you do so.
And might as well smoke while she's outside.
You do have the mountains in the backyard to stare out, way, way, way off in the distance. You do see the peaks coming from there. It is the time of day where the void is showing, so you do have that background past the mountains. It's kind of ominous looking, but you know, like in another hour, it's gonna disappear.
I am just taking in the beauty.
Yeah. Besides the void, yeah, everything else is these islands. They're fertile. They're beautiful. Very nice.
Kessel's inside, just playing around with the clicker, seeing what's on TV.
Okay. Yeah, there's quite a few shows on. Right now, there's one channel that mostly does classics. There's one that's all animated cartoon stuff. Then there's a few serious. There's an action one. It's called The Revengers. It's about a group of super people that try to save the day.
Yeah, Stone tries to look outside, and is it still like light bright out? Well, it probably is. But...
It's the morning, so you can assume that from here on out, there's probably going to be many hours of daylight.
Yeah, Stone's like, yeah, nope. And then she turns around, and then she just looks at what Kessel's looking on the clicker.
The boy's gonna walk up to you, Stone, because he saw that you two dip outside. He wanted to see what you guys were doing. Nope to what?
I don't like looking at that. Hurts my eyes.
Oh! And just starts running up the stairs. You think you hear him trip and fall and knock into something, but have you ever heard a child rush up the stairs as fast as possible?
Yes,
Yes, that's exactly what he's doing right now.
I have heard that. Plus, I have heard cats do that.
Well, he got a little oomph behind his step, so there's like boom, 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 boom.
I have a really fat cat that runs into nowhere.
But he comes back down and he has something in his hand.
Stone looks.
It's a set of glasses. Here, try these.
Oh my god.
What are these?
They're flare goggles. Or no, that's not it. Sunglasses.
Sun? Oh.
Yeah. Apparently Bill has a lot of them, and when I first woke up, my eyes kind of hurt, and he gave them to me.
Does he have a collection of sunglasses?
Yeah, he actually does.
Ah.
Some of them
Okay.
are really pretty.
Stone will try these sunglasses on.
They are a violet tint sunglasses with
Oh
a
my gosh.
kind of goldish color frame.
As he's watching the, he's like looking at it like, oh, they look
You
nice on
refuse to say what it is, don't you? I refuse to say Revengers.
Well, so from her perspective, it pretty much everything looks the same, but it's darker.
Rose-colored glasses.
The sun is not as bad, and there is kind of a violet shade to the world you see right now.
Ooh, I like this.
I can't believe we're only one day in and she's already a hippie.
So while wearing those, you no longer suffer the effects of sunlight sensitivity.
Ooh.
But while having them, you lose all your vision in the dark. Well, you're extreme.
Okay.
You have to go through the terrible crime of taking off your glasses.
Maybe tilting them slightly to show, like,
Show dominance, just slide them down.
She does not wear sunglasses at night.
Okay. Yeah, I do. Thank you. They look great. She like does that thing where she like puts them up, then puts them down, puts them up, puts them down, like doing like a compare and contrast.
And after seeing this and happy with his work, he's gonna go plop down on the couch with Kestrel to watch Revengers. Ooh, I love this one. That's Incredible Bulk. He's my favorite.
Oh my gosh.
Points that really fat guy on the TV.
Is he purple?
Yes, he is purple. Well, Stone can't tell. He just looks gray right now with the glasses.
I'm probably stronger than him. Stone says. She's like just slowly tilting her head just so she can try and watch the TV.
Oh, he's actually not really strong. He just really can take a hit.
Oh, so a punching bag. Okay.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Good point.
So that realization's like, I don't know what I'm talking about either.
Fair enough.
So I guess you three start watching the early morning movie, and the other two just kind of take in the sun and the early morning brightness.
Yep.
Yeah. I like
you-
to think at one point Scales is just laying there for so long she just falls back asleep. She's like, hmm.
I mean, you did just eat as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Oh, those are the best naps. Waking up on your like early morning home cooked meal, then taking a nap.
But it gets another 45 minutes or so, and it's almost to the point in the movie where they're trying to close this thing that they refer to as a portal hole that is connected to an army, and you guys hear a knock on the door.
I'll get it, and he's like,
No.
I'll like, he's kind of like keeping his eyes transfixed to the screen, but like, walking to the door.
Come on, Kestrel. We'll tell you what you missed.
Okay. He goes to open the door.
It is Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Oh, hey, and he looks past you. Ooh, Revengers, I haven't seen the rest of this. And he, like, moves you out of the way and goes and sits down on the couch.
Yeah, no, that's a mood.
He checks to see if anyone else is there, then he closes the door.
No.
Okay.
Give me a
And he-
perception check.
I shall do. That was wisdom, right?
Yes.
Routine.
Something up with his eyes.
Hmm.
They seem to be really red and glossed.
They look like when he had that funny cigarette.
Yes.
And he, closes the door and heads back to the couch.
Okay. You guys continue to finish the movie. The movie finishes. It's pretty damn good. And then Bill's like, "Oh, sweet. I've been missing like the last few minutes of this movie for like the last few weeks. Oh, but anyways, yeah, I almost forgot. Is everyone here?
Scales outside taking a sun bath. Same with Auntie.
Okay. Yeah, Doc just wanted you guys for a little bit. And then afterwards, I was gonna take you guys around a little bit,
Alright,
get you
sounds
guys a little bit more adjusted to the place.
I'll go get him. He goes outside.
Okay. And as soon as you get up, the kid starts clicking through, and then cartoons come on. And Bill his attention, like he's trying to pay attention to like waiting and being an adult, but he keeps like looking over. And he starts like leaning against the couch and just like watching cartoons with the kid.
Again, big mood.
But, like, Stone's like, why do these characters look so weird?
Oh, they're
all purple.
yeah, they're
Oh yeah, in purple.
they're not all purple.
Really?
Some of them are green.
Why do they have televisions in their stomach?
But no, it's a cartoon about a rag that was dropped in the ocean. It gained sentience, and now it hangs out with a fruit
Oh
of
my
some type.
gosh.
Really disturbing kid show when you think about it.
It
a
really is
star
weird,
fruit.
but it's kind of enticing in the same regard. Like they do kind of weird stuff, makes no sense, and there's a really bad echo. Okay,
There's
right.
an
it's up?
octopus.
Okay, there it goes.
There's an octopus that's always annoyed.
Nope, it's a barnacle. Yeah, but Kestrel eventually comes out and he yells for you two.
Do I hear it in my sleepy state?
You see Snake sleeping up right next to the door.
He kind of sighs and right next to the door.
Yeah.
Okay. And Auntie's there, right?
Yes,
I would literally be on the other side of the door sipping orange juice.
she's sitting in a lounge chair with a umbrella above her with a container or a vase of the orange juice, just sipping away.
Hey, guys, it's time to get going. Bill wants us take us around town.
The snake person is asleep.
And he opens the door, like kind of like you know, like touches his foot against her. Come on, sleepy, wake up.
Someone's nudging you awake.
Orchestral.
Telling
Hold
her
on.
what she knows.
I have an idea. I lean over in the chair. I was like, I have an idea. I grab an ice out of my orange juice and I just put it on Scale's forehead.
Okay, you have sticky ice cubes running down your forehead.
I'm gonna just slap him. Like, if I get hold of the ice cube, I'm just gonna get the ice cube and just chuck it at the first thing I see.
It's dropped in the commotion.
Okay, it's fine. It's like, hey, that's like, Anon, how long was I out here?
An hour or two.
That was an
Yeah.
hour's
I
wasted.
lost track of the movie. You know, it was pretty exciting.
Well, when we started, the sun was over there, and now it's... Oh, well, it actually went pretty far.
The void is actually now gone. It's a full sky.
Don't do that. I don't like that. No. I just hold my head and stop up, and they're trying to make it warm again.
Yeah, for a moment, she bared her fangs at you.
Yeah.
What can I say? An ice cube always wakes people up.
And now you have, like, both of you. One of you has a sticky hand. The other one has a sticky forehead.
Anyway, so as I told Auntie here, Bill's here and he wants to take us around town.
Fine. I just get up and grumble.
I make my way with them.
Okay. You guys get back in to find Bill, Stone, and the kid staring at the TV.
Okay, we're all set to go.
Okay. Okay. I think this is all we need. Right this way. And he heads outside.
Is the kid coming with us, or are we leaving him here?
Oh, he's following in tow.
Okay.
And Kessler will lock up as soon as we're all out of the place.
Okay. You do so.
Oh, yeah. I guess we do have to lock our doors.
And remember, they did suggest that it's not really required. It's just some people install them.
Yeah.
Most houses don't have them anymore.
Yeah, privacy's nice.
No.
But you guys slowly make your way through town. It's a little bit of a walk over to the Hostok. But Scales, your forehead's getting agitated and sticky. So is your hand, Auntie. Because
Auntie
it's a
just-
nice, hot, warm day, and you guys have stickiness over.
Auntie's literally just licking her hand and rubbing it on her like pant leg.
I just keep scratching at it. It's like,
Does she have just like a giant red mark on her forehead now?
Your scales are getting a little agitated.
scratch.
You think that the best solution would probably be to wash it off.
Is there water nearby that I can see?
No.
Okay.
Actually, go ahead and roll me a d20.
Yay.
'Cause it is morning time.
Do you need your auntie? I guess it's better.
No. Alright. Oh, I done a
That
gym roll.
was a GM roll.
Yeah, my bad. I'll do that again.
Nice.
How am I doing GM rolls? I'm a player.
It's 2 GM roll. That means that the dice roller thingy was just selected as GM.
You can take the 4 or
okay.
the 17. It's up to you.
You do see someone watering their grass and flowers.
I'll just go over to that person. What do they look like?
It's a middle-aged male, kind of lithe figures, kind of pointed ears.
Can I borrow the water container thing?
You mean the hose?
Yeah.
Sure. It's,
In the
it's
background.
attached.
From the background, don't forget to say please.
I just like get the hose and just pour it over
Pops
myself.
back and drops the hose.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. You can use it. Just turn it off when you're done. And he just kind of goes in his house.
I just like water myself down and be
Okay.
like, I'll turn it off. I'll knock on the person's door.
Do you know how to turn it off? It is a tube and water is coming out of it.
I will follow the tube and see if I can figure it out.
Okay, you follow the tube to the end. It seems to be connected to the house by some contraption.
As a player, I know. As a character, I have no idea. Intelligence, you say.
Yes, for an investigation to figure out how to shut this strange contraption off.
Did we
15.
do scales? Imagine we were just continuing on.
You guys noticed this. Bill stopped you guys as she freaked out someone. As this is happening and the guy went inside and he sees her go back towards the hose, Bill goes over to the person's house to talk to him. And yes, you figure out, oh, it's seems to be like a little thingy, and you turn it one way, doesn't happen, nothing happens, you turn it the other way, and eventually you hear the water slowly cut off.
I'll like continue holding the hose and I'll go to the front door.
Okay.
Now, is
You
that
see
person
Bill
there?
talking with a guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't angry at you, I was angry at that person over there. She was real mean to me.
Very
got me
happily
sticky.
just smiling and waving.
Bill just sighs, mutters something else to the guy, kind of pats him on his shoulder, and turns. He's like, "It's okay. Let's just get over to the docks."
Thank you, Mr. Pointy Ears. And I'll just rub the hose by him and just leave.
He's closed the door and went back inside.
Okay.
You see the windowsill kind of like open a little bit as he's just kind of staring for the window.
Martha, we got racist snakes next door.
Kind of like the, kind of, almost like Burbs or like just classic looking through the window blinders. But you guys maintain your way through town. A few people look because of the strange interaction that you guys have. Bill awkwardly smiles and just leads you guys over there.
How is this strange for us?
I mean, she's soaking it wet for one.
There's a lot of places I could go with that, but I'm not.
You make your way to Hot.
I like to think I'm showing a fan to Auntie just at every moment I can, just like.
You do so.
Yeah.
Also just
But you
chuckling
guys
in the
arrive in front of the building.
Yeah.
Okay, so we enter.
Okay. He leads you guys through. Just like you guys last saw it. He takes you through the bedside, where all the beds were in that big open room. And once you guys get in there, you do see Scholar Gray.
Oh,
Oh, hello. Come in, everyone. Sit down, pick a bed. I'm just gonna do just a couple routine check things real quick. And get a quick blood sample. And
Blood sample.
then yes, just rudimentary stuff. And after that, I have something in for all of you guys. That's
blood sample. So I'm assuming you're going to be taking our blood then.
yes.
And
that's
here
what
I
that sample means.
thought I was taking our time together for granted.
He looks very confused.
Professor Grant.
Tom looks confused too.
Castro does a pity snicker.
Thank
Okay.
you for your pity snicker.
Like I said, right this way, and he guides you guys each to a bed. And one by one, he goes through like, stick out your tongue, open up your mouth, follow this light. Hits your knee with a little rubber hammer. And at the very end, he puts a slight band, an elastic band around your arm. You're not quite sure what it's made out of. Maybe it's this weird plastic thing. And he goes through and he draws blood from each of you, just a little bit. It does hurt a little bit, but the pain is fleeting almost instantly.
What do you do with it?
I'm gonna look at it.
But I can look at it. It's there.
we'll get to that. I can show you the equipment in the other room. Let's just say I have a device that allows me to look at it very closely. And
Quick
it makes
question.
it really big.
For a player, are any of our bloods different colors?
Yes.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What colours?
Yeah.
Okay. In order. Scales.
Mhm.
Your blood has a darker color to it. Almost like a not so much a sickly color to it, but this seems to be a little bit darker and shifted slightly from color. Nothing like super big. It's still generally red. It's just slightly darker and it's just a little different.
Okay.
Is it desaturated? Is that what you're going for?
Not so much desaturated, almost like you just grabbed the hue of it and adjusted it a little bit.
Okay.
For stone, your blood looks very dark. Very, very dark for blood. Almost like a purplish.
Ooh.
For you, Kestrel, it's red blood. For you, Auntie, simple red. For the kid, the needle breaks.
Huh.
Got good
Yeah.
skin there.
And here I thought Kestrel was the thick one.
Doc just kind of looks a little weird about it. Maybe it was a broken needle.
It is a broken needle now.
Maybe
Yeah, I meant it was a bad needle.
maybe
I
you need
doubt
a
it,
bigger
Stone
knife.
says.
Like a
Well,
bigger
I
knife.
mean that's not a big issue. I just need to go grab another one. And he just kind of walked by Bill,
You know, this is a lot easier than when we use leeches.
and he whispers something to Bill, and Bill kind of looks at the rest of you. Oh, yeah. Well, since the rest of you are done, well, the doc grabs the rest of the stuff. Why don't you guys just follow me to get a head start on the rest of the stuff? And the doc goes,
Okay.
okay, yeah, that would be wonderful.
Okay,
And-
you'll be here good by yourself here, kid.
And he just kind of looks for a moment. He looks a little like confused, but he's like, yeah, oh, yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay.
When we walk by, I'm going to ruffle his hair. Because this is all I know how I communicate with children.
I'm gonna gently pat him.
Yeah, he looks up at you with his big black and slightly bluish green eyes, and he just smiles.
We'll catch you later, kid.
Okay, don't
Okay.
have all the fun without me.
He won't. I promise.
Let me know how many more needles you break. And I just walk off.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Honestly, I was expecting one of you two to break it, and onto gestures to Scales and Kestrel.
I mean, why would I break it?
We will talk about that, Doc says under his breath as he goes to open up the side door.
You know, Scales. Okay.
But he leads you guys over to the other room where you once again see the weird spectral creatures floating through the air. There's a couple of them that, as you guys enter, they kind of like scurry away. But there's a couple
What
that are
was-
kind of floating around.
What were these called again?
Pico pets.
Pico pets.
Yeah, that's one matter to discuss as he goes to a drawer and he starts going through equipment. The other is about what just happened.
What do you mean?
I know what we read from the notes, but have you guys actually sat down with that child at all and seen how unique he is?
Multiple times.
Yeah, he seems very strong, like very strong.
To say the least.
I mean, there was that one time.
Just anything that you guys can think of that you've noticed.
I mean, he can straight up pick up Scales.
When you guys were asleep, he was having a nap, and I was staying awake. And then he also fell asleep on top of me, and that's when he mentions about how cold I was, but he didn't actually say that using words, I think. It's more like I heard it in my head.
The room goes silent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kids don't do that.
One of the Pico pets is a cricket.
Yeah, cricket.
Cracker.
go ahead and just give me an intelligence check. Scales.
9.
Okay. It wasn't a high DC. You understand most types of babies. Most babies can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, like you're not 100% foreign to the concept of, people and how babies work.
Okay.
I know most types of babies, but this one eludes me.
This one, in what you're trying to say, yes, that's not normal.
Yeah. I mean, he did it just the one time. I could have just been mishearing it, and he actually did say, no.
I mean, he also did say that thing about his mother.
Mother.
Yeah.
He's mentioned that before, but we haven't really broached the subject.
Kinda,
Had
he.
the mother with him?
No.
Oh, I mean, when we found him, there were 2 other people in pods things.
You know that report where you had him and then the 2 other people, which I can't remember the names of. I got the names on the thingy. BMC, Delta. What was the other 2?
You mean
Foxtrot.
Echo and
Foxtrot. Yeah, those 2. I believe that those 2 were in there with him. We couldn't get them out.
Whoever got the name Foxtrot wasn't a great name. I'm just gonna be honest.
Hmm.
In terms of any other persons, no.
Okay. Well, this is the second time I've noticed him do something very odd. I mean, these needles, they may seem small, but they're really good at getting through most skin.
Don't worry, you'll see more odd things.
Well, I mean, you're all a bunch of odd ones as is, but he just kind of stares at you all, just kind of looking up and down. I didn't notice anything quite like that.
I mean, he's just a kid. He ain't doing anything bad. He's just extra special, I think.
And Bill kind of interjects, no, we mean no hostilities about this. We just, if something were to go wrong with this child, we're a little worried about what his care would be like.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to out of character, you are not holding my child back in school because he's special.
Yeah. Well, you could think of it like this: if he was to drop a knife in a cooking accident as he's learning how to cook, he won't injure himself. It's fine.
It's almost like being a parent, but on easy mode.
Yeah.
That is not the concern. The concern is we've drawn blood from him before. This is new.
Oh.
Mm.
So he's
I mean-
developing still. You know, people grow.
I mean, if he seems like he's
growing a lot.
Yes, I was just about to point that out. He's
And
seems...
that's another point. He
bigger.
walks over to a wall and he shows you a couple marks. He says, I tend to, whenever I'm, taking care of the kids, I like to mark their height.
Mhm.
And he takes you over to some markings. He's like, this is how much he's grown in a week.
Is it
I
like a
thought-
butt?
No, it's a good inch, though.
Alright.
Could he not be of a different kind of person than you already have in the town? I mean, no offense, but you said I was 12. I'm pretty sure in comparison to say, and I'll just go over to
Of
them,
course,
I don't look 12.
The Serpentine people, they do advance. They do get to maturity much quicker than others. So we are used to this. Our problem is with the information we found from the books and what you've told us is there's clear that there must be some experimentation that went on with either you or them or both. We're just not quite sure the true nature of it, and it does have us concerned for his safety.
Because he looks human, yes?
Is that above game?
Kind of. It was a bit of a mix.
I mean, besides his eyes, he looks relatively human. Bit
So-
oddly fit, but that's about it.
So yeah, this isn't normal for our kind. For Scales' kind, probably, but no, that's not normal for humans.
I have a question. Above game, kinda. In regards to his eyes alone, do they look like any of the other races I've seen?
Give me an intelligence check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Can I get one of those?
Sure.
9.
Intelligence. Oop. Still getting used to this tablet. 14.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to tell for you, Scales.
Mhm.
Auntie, just the shape of them makes you think draconic
Well,
or reptilian in some regard.
if I
Definitely
were,
a serpentine kind of shape and slit to them.
if I were to hazard a guess, maybe he's closer to Scales than we thought. Maybe a bit of a reptilian blood in there.
That would be all fine and dandy, and he goes over to a different wall and he says, "This is Cindy's marking," and it shows a lot more markings. There's like like maybe like 10 gathered in like a section on the wall.
Who's
Mhm.
Cindy?
She's a child that I see. She is of your kind.
Okay.
Oh.
This is over the span of years, and you see the markings going up by like they're pretty rapidly, but the math doesn't work basically. Like looking at his difference in a week compared to theirs in a year, they don't match up.
Auntie is going to relax back across her legs. What if I were to tell you maybe it's dragon?
I would have to tell you that we don't know what that is. Again, you keep listing things that to us is just mere superstition, legend, and myth.
Yes, but where we come from, that superstition and myth apparently is, well, our history.
Now, and the doc speaks up. Now, I don't want to doubt what you think you know, but you do understand how odd that sounds to us, correct?
And you
Yeah.
understand how having an ice elemental in a box sounds weird to us.
Wait, what?
Bill just kind of like grabs the bridge of his nose and just kind of rubs it.
I think this is an old person versus a young person, except the young people are the old people and the old people are the young people.
I'm
And then
getting
the
very
doc-
confused at
And the
this.
doc like talks up and he says, "Yes, and the old people and new people also come from two very different worlds apparently, and know
Um,
nothing of each other."
I'm just waiting for this doctor to okay boomer me.
But long story short, it's concerning. These changes seem to be happening rapidly, and we're not quite sure what they mean, or if he has control over it, or if they are safe.
Well,
Just keep an
I-
eye on the boy. Note
I-
anything that you find strange.
Kid's doing fine.
Well, either way, it's our, I think it's somewhat our responsibility to take care of him. So.
I
do
know,
what we're doing.
I know when growing, it's normal to have growing pains. Has the boy expressed anything?
Bill just kind of like scratches his beard a little bit. He's like, I mean, even before you guys woke up, he seemed to recover quickly. He seems to have tons of energy, learns very fast. Smart kid. I mean, so far, besides just the weirdness, there's been nothing too alarming.
Well, if I were to hazard a guess, he might be a flame that's burning bright and growing. It might be extinguished sooner than others, but I think he still has a life ahead of him.
And Hostok goes, and that's what we're worried about. We have no idea what they did to this kid.
Well, if something was done, I don't know if it could be reversed. I mean, this is just who he is, I suppose.
Again, we just ask that you keep track, note it like a responsible parent, and just let us know.
Of course. After here, we can go to the shop, get a couple of notebooks, and we'll keep tabs and come back to you with it.
And he just kind of nods at you and says, "No, now that I have these, let me go try again." And the doctor disappears into the other room.
Personally, I don't see what the problem is. The kid seems to be fine. He's happy in himself. He's smart, and that's pretty good. He does have a new type of person to deal with.
Bill just kind of speaks. He's like, "No, it's just we are people of science, logic, so this is something just we've never seen before, and just like you all, we have to take everything with caution, take everything with a grain of sand, and just again, new things aren't things that usually happen
New
around here."
things scare you. I got it.
I have a question
He
above
kind of
game.
chuckles at that. Yes.
Above game, can I roll Auntie's knowledge of what dragons and mythology of dragons were? Like, if is it normal to have mixed breeds or anything like that?
Yes, with disadvantage.
Okay. Five.
You know
Yeah,
they're
I'm
big,
lost.
they're scary. Like tales of dragons, you don't know specifics. You've never studied them.
Fair.
That you feel.
Granted, I'm also
You get
assuming
dragon, but you're just like dragons, and just like with a lot of things are still fuzzy in your brain.
Fair. Well, I'm coming up short.
Bill is now standing in the corner staring at a few of the Pico pets.
So, what do we do now then?
We're just waiting for Doc to finish.
Okay.
Wait for the boy. Give him some. Do you make people give treats to children after visiting them? I remember once, like, I was in this one medic tent and they gave treats to the young ones.
Yeah. And he's just kind of like staring at a Pico pet slowly floating by. He seems enamored with this, just kind of like.
Excellent.
Okay.
He turns around, his eyes are completely glossed.
Was
Oh
this-
yeah. And he just walks over to a cupboard, opens up a thing, and there's a bucket full of treats, and he puts it down.
That's good.
Awesome.
What did that Pico pet look like?
It looked like a how best to describe this? It looked kind of like a person. Humanoid in shape. Seemed to have weird hair or head shape with odd coloring of face. It was like white with these two reddish pink spots on both sides.
He said, you say he put the bucket down, right?
Yeah, and he went back to staring at the Pico pets.
All right. While he's staring, I'm going to pocket a couple of candies.
You do so. They seem to be wrapped in this strange plastic material.
Stone take one.
You do so.
Yeah.
No.
They're little hospital candies. Very simple.
Skills.
I'm imagining lifesavers.
Yeah, kind of. Basically, lollipops, kind of an assortment of the two.
Yeah.
There's a couple like actual name brand things in there that the doctor happened to slip in there, but those are mostly always claimed instantly.
Oh yeah.
I was
You
gonna
know
say-
what's the best ones? Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
I'll
no.
cut you off twice.
No, that's okay. I was just gonna say, Scales is gonna go up to I forgot the person's name already. Person looking at the Pico pets.
Oh.
Stone guy.
Yeah, and be like, so you said we're gonna be getting one of these at some point, yeah?
Yeah, you and the kid are still young enough that you guys can still get one.
That's
'Cause even though, and he kind of pats you on your head, you got the physical body of an adult. We still treat everyone as the same age range, so you still technically apply. It wouldn't be right.
Oh, wait, are you saying that she has the mind of a child then?
I mean,
Fang comes out.
Ooh.
Do we need? Wait. Are you telling me? we-
Bill obviously looks too stoned to actually care about you bearing your fangs.
I know.
Personally, I don't know her, so I can't say that. Every child develops at a different rate.
So what you're telling me is when we get home, we need to set bedtime.
No, because by her people's standards, she's an adult. It's up to each individual family.
Just-
I'll let you know now, if you're setting a bedtime, I'm gonna stay up much later than you ever said I should. I will make it my goal to stay up at least 6 hours after the bedtime is set.
Auntie is just going to pop a candy in her mouth. All right, fine. Just, let me know if you get drunk so I can pick you up.
No.
All
Goes
right,
back to
fine.
looking
I
at the
wanted-
Pico pets.
Just puts her hand up. Fine. Just want to keep you safe. But no. Tell Auntie no.
Also, you can't really pick her up. Yeah, I don't think you're that strong, Auntie.
You don't know till she tries.
I'm not going to try.
And
Smart
as you guys
move.
are discussing this, the door opens. You hear the doctor say, "Oh no, don't worry. They break all the time. Don't worry about it." Okay, we're all finished up in here.
Okay.
How many
And
did you
he
break,
looks
kid?
at Bill and just shakes his head no.
Yeah.
He does it away towards the kid, but also towards you guys in a way of just giving that sign of like, mm-mm. And you do notice that he does not have a blood sample with him.
Oh, I was gonna say, is the kid still in the other room, or is he
No,
followed?
he brought the kid with him.
How many did you break, kid?
All of them.
High five.
He high fives you, but he looks a little down. He seems like he's disappointed someone.
Oh, here, how about a treat, kid? Ketchel gives him a treat.
Ooh. And he runs over and like starts looking at the bucket, and he's like, looks at the treat you gave him. He's like, I don't like the purples, and he puts that down. Pulls out a
Fair,
coin. He's like,
fair
yes.
enough.
I'm going to lay down, kid. Psst, which ones do you like?
Oh, the green ones are good. They're kind of sour.
Auntie's going to try as sneakily pocket as many green ones as she can.
Because the doc is now in here.
Yeah, I have a negative in that.
Okay,
18.
yeah. You, as he's like going over to the like a little cupboard to like put some of the like the blood drawing stuff up. He opens up the door and his head blocked, and you just wait for that moment. You grab up like a good 6 or 7 green ones. You think you got the bulk majority of them.
I wink at the kid and just like a.
He just kind of smiles and puts the green one in his mouth. Has more later. Doc finished.
I'm a
putting everything
responsible
away.
parent.
So, now for the 2 young ones, we have the time-honored tradition, which is technically only a few hundred years old, but I will keep it up. I know not every kid keeps theirs forever, and some people move past it. We have, as he walks over to a cabinet and opens it, you see tons of rows of these shaped containers with these circular, containers in it. The pico balls that you guys had seen before. And he just starts pulling the trays out and he starts setting them down. There are quite a few of them. There's a good guess that you'd say there might be about 150-ish of these.
Amazing.
Ooh.
If one had to guess. And he looks at you guys. Now, all these have been captured in the past. Most of them have never had an owner before. Just know that whatever you pick, there will be some sort of a bond, kind of created between you two. Your Pico pet will start, favoring you over others, and will start, getting better at what it does. These things, they're not just here to float around. Like I said before, they love to fight. It seems to be a pastime of theirs, and it's entertaining for us. So, we kind of make a weird bonding game out of it. Any questions?
Yes, I have one.
What's your question?
Are any of these like old and lazy?
There's a few that have a certain particular personality.
I was just curious.
They seem to each have their own kind of personality. Yeah, let's leave it at that. So would the 2 children like to pick from one?
I guess that means us, kid.
And he kind of goes over to the shelf. And Bill kind of whispers something over to the doc's ear. I mean, they're kind of old. I don't know if they... Okay. I mean... Yeah, let's get them first. And the doc just kind of folds his arm and just watches as you guys have all these trays in front of you.
I will pick a random one up. I don't know.
Okay.
Third,
Just kind of...
third row, 5th one. I'll have a dive
Sure.
on this.
Sure. You pick it up. You have this metal cage in your hand, or this metal kind of sphere. The kid walks over and picks one up as well.
I just like look at it like, now what do we do?
And as you're saying that and staring at it, you just see this little head pop out of it and stare at you.
Hello. I just
Of
like
this
looking at it
very
because he.
ghostly entity. You see this.
Oh
Staring
shit, we
at
getting art?
Nah.
Oh my gosh, that's Evie. I mean, Levy.
Nice.
And
No.
it just kind of pops its head out, stares at you, kind of like goes back down inside.
I just
And then
like
pops up again with its ears up, and then drops back down.
I just
And
like
then pops
get,
back up in.
I just get like the side of my finger and just cut it so it's like my knuckle is pointing towards it, and I just hold it gently where I think it's like nose is gonna pop out from.
Okay. You do so, and it kind of startles it for a second. It goes, looks up at you. It just kind of like nuzzles its nose. You don't feel anything.
Yeah.
But strangely enough, its body seems to move as almost if it is interacting somewhat with your hand.
Oh, I could like a little tickle into the chin.
Yeah, your hand goes right through it.
But yeah, but like a little gentle, like I know my finger's going through it, but as if it had a physical body.
Sure, you
Yeah.
best imitate it, and it seems to like it.
Yeah.
And then it disappears back in the ball,
I
and then pops back out.
like you.
It seems to be very playful. And then its full body comes out, and it's just kind of like floating and kind of runs up your arm a little bit. You can't feel it. It just seems to be like running along you as if it was a surface.
So does this one have a name? And I'm just looking at it, looking at crawling all over me type thing like.
Oh
Interesting.
no, it's up to each of the children to pick its name.
Hmm.
And if you would see in your folder, you now have a new thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and name it whatever you would like.
I don't know because I don't have a folder. Ah, there we go.
You had to give me a second.
That's okay. There we go. Correctly change it from the copyright.
It's the only way I could make sure to keep track of it.
It's okay. I shall call you Peeper. Yeah. Peeper.
Peeper?
Peeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the
Like
kid is just
Pippa,
kind of
but with one P.
kid is just standing there with the ball, and he's just staring at it.
In the background this whole time, Auntie is just doing the mom thing. It was like, you're doing so well, sweetie.
They grow up so fast.
Yes.
There we go.
And he's just staring at it for a few moments, and eventually the doc says, "Well, you know, sometimes they're a little nervous. They always come out in just a few moments. Just give it a second." And the kid just kind of nods and smiles, and kind of looks over at you, Scales, as you know your Peeper is like just kind of running around and like kind of disappears under your rope for a second, climbs out the other end like it was just climbing through it. Yeah.
I just like
Very.
try and stroke it and, you know, pretend to stroke where I think it would stroke. Yeah.
And eventually like hops down and like runs around your feet a little bit. It's basically the size of a small dog.
I like get down on it. It's like, do you like the word Peeper?
It just kind of stares at you.
Peeper
Just
go
kind of
peep?
nestles against your leg.
I will take that as a yes.
Well, it might take a few moments. Kid, why don't you just come sit down here for now? As the doc kind of brings him over to a chair and he sits down, he just continues with the open palm, just the ball in the center of his hand just staring at it, like waiting patiently. But Bill looks over and, you know, I thought, you know, you guys are new guests. We don't get a lot of those. So you guys can't be held to our traditions. So I know some of you are older and it might seem childish, but if you want, as he gestures towards the remaining ones.
I'm going to be very kind and say and insist. Oh no, you don't have to. But actually, I really want to.
Yeah, your one companion already grabbed one early this morning.
Really?
Yeah, he's an early riser. That one.
No.
He's the real rival. Name is
What was his name again? Oh yeah, Fart Face.
Oh,
For all those Pokemon fans who name their rival something just ridiculous.
of course you had to.
Yeah, but so you like, well, I mean, and immediately grab one.
Yes.
Okay. The rest of you?
Castle just kind of does a little browsing and then picks one up at random.
Okay. Stone?
Stone pick up one at random too.
Okay. For you, give me a second. I gotta make sure I don't fuck this up. Make sure that.
I'm just waiting for a random, like, wild one to come and start attacking us all. Like, you know, the first battle. Yeah.
Okay. Auntie, you pick up the ball, and eventually a small little bird pops out of it and lands on your hand, like on your wrist.
Oh.
You see this.
Oh my lord. Auntie's just her heart melts.
I mean, just kind of looks at you, pecks at your arm a little bit. You don't feel it, and then looks up at you, and then like kind of does like that hop jump like up your arm towards your shoulder, and he just kind of like rubs against your ear a little bit.
Auntie goes, well, aren't you just a beautiful little thing?
And you hear it chirp. It's like, "Rip, rip."
Hmm.
And you will find something new in your book, in your journal.
Hehehe.
Kestrel, you wait a few moments, and eventually you see this strange, elongated creature come out of it. Kind of like crawls out of the ball onto your hand immediately, and just kind of crawls a few inches and just stares up at you. You see this.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Wormy!
You got a weed.
You're an interesting fella.
And you will find something new in your journal here in a second.
Okay.
And go ahead, as you guys are getting this, to name them.
I'm trying to think of a good name.
And
Chicken.
last but certainly not least,
Damn it.
Moose, you see this very strange entity coming out of your ball. Words do not describe it, so I'm just gonna show you.
Oh. Interesting.
Holy shit.
Stone like looks really close at it. Like, huh. Interesting.
Above game, I don't know what this is supposed to be a parody of.
Yeah.
I know, but only because I have seen this art, like, years ago before. This artist is a really good one.
Dude, can I get a link to this artist?
Will do.
Ooh, I wonder what you are. She's like looking at
I
it from
want to do that real
360.
quick anyways. Shout out to F Del Rio, I believe is the person who does it.
Is it Angela
F
Del?
dot Del Rio.
Let me Google. F dot.
I believe so.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that shows up on the art.
I'll check ArtStation,
Yeah.
see if something comes up.
If I find a actual, thing for it, because there was a few of these that were done the same way but with different names, so I gotta look into it. Couldn't find a direct answer.
I'm gonna search ArtStation under
Yeah.
Pokemon.
No worries. But
Yeah.
you guys all have your stuff. Um,
I don't know if I want to call mine. Hmm. I don't know what I want. I'm kind of leaning towards pet shop.
Hmm.
Tamagotchi. No, just kidding.
I've done that before for familiar.
and everything else, just give me a second because I'm still going through and giving you guys stuff.
I'm just gonna be playing with Peeper.
How to name this one because I don't even know what it is. It's really interesting though, but
It's
Yeah.
really hard to tell.
Did it not have a name on it?
None of them have names. Oh, I mean, you could technically cheat by looking at the name and what's in your folder right now.
Yeah.
It's really
nah, Stone
obvious.
doesn't know what it is.
I'm sure it's obvious once you see it, right?
Oh yeah, it's completely 100% obvious once you know the word.
I'm gonna call
Yeah.
my guy Trimmer. He's just kind of let him crawl all over.
Jesus Christ. And I'm sending you guys all something via Discord.
Awesome.
Nice.
Shit. Whoa.
There we go.
Moose knows what his is.
That's all the name, yes.
You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Alright, I'm just gonna name mine Pet Shop. Because I'm too lazy to get even more creative with the references.
And as you guys are like engaging with all of your Pico pets, the kid is just sitting there.
Pet Shop's going to get confusing. I'll keep looking for a good name. You know what? Before I name mine, I'm going to live with it a bit. Figure out what a good name would be.
Duck goes, yeah, I mean that's definitely fair. Just kind of he keeps eyeballing over to the kid he's starting to raise his eyebrow and look a little curious and slightly worried.
Well, if it's taking too long, maybe you try another one.
But this is the one I picked.
That's fair. Yeah. Might just be a nervous dude.
Yeah, I'll just like go over with, I don't know, Peepers, be like, you could just be a little shy. So I think maybe give him a bit of time to get used to it.
After a
Maybe.
couple seconds, Bill goes, "Oh no, he didn't pick." And Doc just his eyes go wide for a second and looks at the trays and starts like eyeballing all the trays. Hey kid, if you wanted to trade, that's fine as well. And the Doc suddenly looks very nervous.
You got the Pikachu.
Oh, main character face.
Out of character, I imagine like his balls has an M on it.
It's like all of your guys's.
For some reason, his is the Arceus. Got it.
You actually put like one of the trays in the wrong.
I'm just gonna like peer over the kid's shoulder, see if I can take a look at the fin.
What thing?
I don't know if is it like in the ball and I can't see it, or is it just?
It has not come out of the ball at all.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because they come out of the ball to understand, then you can see them. You can't
Okay.
like go in the ball.
Are you
Fair
able to take him out of the ball, or is that rude?
Are you asking Doc?
Kinda. I'm kinda asking the room.
Well, I just wanted to know if you were whispering it to him or not.
No.
Well, not really. Once they make a home in one, there's the only way to force them out is through a battle.
Can't like ask them.
I mean, do you
He
ever-
kind of like nudges you to get closer.
I do.
He's gonna whisper. Let's see if he can whisper without everyone hearing it.
Wanted to roll on that one so badly.
Okay. Okay, I need people's passive perception real quick.
How do I do the math on that?
Do we have that on these sheets?
Okay, what's your guys' wisdom scores?
Score?
17.
12.
Mine's
Mine's 15, but he's whispering to me, is he?
Yes.
mine's 9.
So Kestrel and Auntie both hear this.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I think he got one of the trouble ones. That one might not come out of his ball unless you put it in a fight, and then even that has trouble, because it just doesn't. Let's just say that's not a good one to have.
I was gonna
No.
go over to the kids anyway and say, hey, do you want to fight to coax it out?
I was just about to say, like, well, the two children do need their first battle, don't they?
It's not gonna go the way you think.
Let's just say, maybe, maybe we like want to pick something that like has a bit more, less of a battle-oriented focus. Because if we can only coax out a battle, I mean, it won't be as, enjoyable as a Pico Pet, I imagine, right?
Are you saying that to the kid or just in general?
Just in general.
I mean, most people use them for battling a lot of the younger kids, but it's just let's say some of them can be difficult.
What do you want to do there, kids?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I mean, I picked this one.
So do you want to try to do a battle just to see what it looks like then?
I don't know. I mean, if he doesn't want to come out, I don't also want to make him.
That's true.
Well,
I'll hold on to it for now.
Okay.
Okay.
the boy.
He looks a little down, but like he's not broken. He just, he keeps staring at it, just waiting patiently.
Don't give up on him, Stone says.
Yeah, Kessler packs him in the back. Okay.
Question, do I know what a turtle is?
Yes.
Okay, maybe he's like a turtle and, he's just a bit shy and hasn't come out of his shell as of yet. Takes a bit of time.
You hear, since Auntie is next to him, I'll say, again, Kestrel and Auntie hear this, as Doc just kind of whispers to Bill, I mean, should we tell him what the kids were? And Bill's like,
I'm going to kind of nudge the doctor. All right, how, is the Scrooge? Do I need to be worried about him having this one?
oh yeah, of course, Auntie. If you forgot that over in the other room, I can take you over there. And he
Okay.
just starts walking over to the side door.
Secret talk.
Guess I heard like that end of it, but then yeah.
He takes you over to the other room. He just, as soon as you guys get over to the other side, he's like, the one he picked basically doesn't listen to anyone. It refuses to fight, and anytime you force it to, it just basically prevents all fighting.
Is this
Basically,
going?
the match will always end in a draw. It refuses to fight.
I'm going to kind of look towards the room we left. Is he going to get hurt with this thing?
From all of our study, there's no interaction between them and us, or the world at large. They seem to be able to interact with it, but it's not a two-way street.
All right. Well,
You can always, if he decides to trade it later, this isn't the first time we've handed him out.
I'm going to suggest the boy is already a bit special as is. Maybe it'll be good for him.
He just kind of goes wide-eyed for a second, like, I mean, I'm not gonna force you guys, and I know how kids can be.
This is fair. We'll have a talk with him and make sure this is what he wants.
Yeah, and he just kind of begrudgingly goes back to the other room with the rest of you guys. But he puts a smile on right as soon as he crosses the threshold. Well, I mean, if that's everything, I think you guys could take them out for some fun if you guys like. There's a setup little area in the back, or I know Bill had plans for the day.
Oh, okay. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm not really seeking fighting as much as the rest of you, but I wouldn't mind seeing what my little birdie here has.
It chirps and jumps on your arm a little bit. Seems to understand and seems to be excited at the notion of what you're suggesting. And at that note, the rest of them all seem to perk up.
You wanna have a
Okay,
go,
I'm all-
peepers?
Nuzzle hardcore into your ear and just kind of stares at the other Pico pets. Its mane kind of puffs up a little bit.
I think that's a yes on this side.
What about you, Trimmer?
He just kind of like spins around in a real quick circle and like puts its tail up like a scorpion tail and just kind of like gets real low.
He goes like on guard.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Well, how about
And
one
your
quick
stone
battle?
just kind of floats there menacingly.
Just extra menacingly. Like,
Just extra menacingly. Like
I'm
there seems to be a
imag-
slightly dark aura around it.
Honestly, what I am perfectly imagining is just
Jotaro menacing.
yes, right,
Menacing, menacing.
Yeah, menacing as right behind
Yep.
Stone.
I was picturing more like a very like instead of like the regular like fluttering, it's like very slowly fluttering, like whoosh, just
It just seems
like
to be
purposely.
floating. Yeah. So Doc hears all this and says, "Okay, Bill, why don't you show him out to the back?"
Okay.
And he escorts you guys back. Where in the back of the Doc house, there is a little square patch of dirt that is surrounded by grass, with two little cement kind of blocks cut. Basically, giant square of dirt, and on both opposite ends of the rectangle, there's a cement square that is about a little bit more than person size. But as he brings you guys out there, we're going to take a quick couple-minute break because I have a feeling that we're going to get into some stuff that's going to take a few, so that's probably going to run through the break. So we'll go ahead and have the break now. 10-minute
Okay.
break.
Okay,
Can you put in the pictures on our pages too?
Yes, I can. Yeah, there was issue with that, but I'll fix it.
Okay.
Okay.
I shall be back.
Me too.
Gotta say though, Damon, I kind of like this design more than the actual
It
canon design of the Pokemon you're suggesting.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
is
say.
serious. Oh, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, if you guys ever do find this artist, they have done like, I don't know if they've done any second, third, or onwards, but in regards to the first generation, they are all beautiful and amazing. Like I've seen this art like years before, and I was just enamored by how realistic that it could look.
They do look nice. Very nice.
I'm stuck between Pet Shop and Pearl Jam.
Okay.
I don't
You know what a
to-
pet shop is?
The reference to the music band.
I meant in character.
Uh,
Does it make sense for you to name something that doesn't exist?
True, fair.
Again, I'm not
Name-
saying no. I'm just saying,
Animal Shop. I'm going to have to basically come up with one find a band name I like, and then D&D. That's my plan right now.
And yeah, and someone knows what Pico Pet he happened to get. Just as a behind the scenes, I did need a little assistance with this. So there was someone who had a little bit of insider knowledge before it got to this.
Watch it be its sin.
No.
Look, I feckin' love Pokemon, so I'm fine with this. If this is the whole
Yeah.
game, I concede.
I rolled for it, and let's just say the little kid got a pick that makes it very unfun for the kid.
Meh.
and I know you guys brought up the legendaries and all that other craziness, but yes, they were a part of the list, and yes, they were toned down to make it fair.
Ah, fair.
And yes, if I picked what they were statted as from the beginning, yes, it would be overpowered, but I dropped it all down so it would be fair. I had a Pokemon expert to help me with that.
You didn't have me help you.
I had the another Pokemon master with me.
Fair.
I was trying to keep spoiling to the minimum.
No, that's fair.
That's why I grabbed assistance from different people, but only parts of it.
What's a good name? Ailstorm. I get away with Ailstorm.
If anyone's super curious about what the kid got, you could either wait or I could probably show you. It's not too big of a thing. You could probably guess it if you really put some effort into it.
I'm always going to guess Gengar, but that's just who I am.
So I always get the feeling that the kid actually picked Mewtwo or something like that.
Oh, that would be amazing. And terrifying.
I mean, I could post what I rolled for everyone.
Sure.
I would love to see that. That's
Just to know, the way I had to roll this is the math didn't work out 100% because it was hard to figure out a roll. I tried doing a few different ways.
150, so, yeah.
Yeah, basically, I decided to roll 2D 100s. So whatever your score was -1. Because, you know, it goes from 1 to 151. So if I'm rolling 2 of something, you can't roll a 1 with that. So I had to subtract 1.
Hello.
She knows.
What do I know?
The rolls.
Oh, yes. Yes.
know everything.
And what did I say when I first rolled it? Well, I was like, what did I say? Like, fuck. As soon as I realized what the roll was for the kid, I was like, damn it.
Yeah. Damn it. I feel like I want to try and say something, but I feel like if I say it, then it's clearly obvious. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
What?
It's like, typical, the DM got that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid's the first one, isn't it?
It is.
No, I expected that.
Alright, we need to get a cap for the kid. Every Pokemon trainer needs one.
I mean, again,
I'm
it's
sure.
scaled down, so it's just as equal as anyone else.
I know, it's just kind of hilarious.
The only the downside of it is now he has one that's not gonna want to interact with him whatsoever.
I know.
I was really hoping for something like cute and cuddly, but
Oh, Moose, I hate you.
Well. Well.
Moose is that one.
I feel like Moose did something and I don't know well.
I love you, Moose, but I would shank you.
honestly, for me personally, like, yes, the one I got is cool, but for this particular setup, I would much prefer Gengar or fucking Abra.
Fucking. One, I love that design for Ghastly. Holy shit.
You know what? I'm feeling generous, so I will also show you the last one.
But also at the same. Oh.
Wait. What are you showing?
Info share.
Oh,
I like
oh yeah.
it, but I kind of miss the armor aesthetic it had in the game.
I know, but I was going with a thing with this. That's why I chose this
Oh,
person's
no.
art.
No, that's good.
Nice.
Look,
I
I'm
guess I
gonna be
might as well
honest.
show you the last one too.
I'm gonna be honest. I love my bird Pokemon, so I'm fine with Pidgey. Pidgey is awesome, but also fucking Ghastly though.
And this one, Rye, you're gonna love the art. Just know that you guys are probably never gonna see it in game unless he's. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Honestly.
A dramatic. Oh yeah, I've seen this art.
Are you showing the what I think you're showing?
Yes.
Okay, I just don't want to get it because my fin opens up to Chrome.
Meow Deuce.
Kind of.
I know.
It's just, yeah. I feel bad for this kid.
Basically, he's just gonna.
It makes sense though, because like, don't you usually
We can't hear
He's-
what you're saying.
can't hear you.
Yeah, you trailed off. Like it seemed like you were slowly moving away from your phone.
actually was
Okay, yeah, so
friends with YouTube.
I do, but again, that's when I'm playing that game. It doesn't really work for this context of RPing and stuff. It's under the same vein of, yeah, Sketch was a great character, doesn't work in a party setup.
I mean, do you want to backpedal on that then, for just narrative?
I'm letting the narrative continue how it is.
Yeah, because that's kind of like what we kind of established. That like, yeah, well, let the kid try it out. If he doesn't like it, he can return it back.
Basically,
Put it
D100
in a
rule.
bag and never touch it.
Because honestly, the most narratively I could think this is comes out a dramatic moment. But
Fair.
I mean, that's a good narrative through line. But I don't know how else to take it. How you would take it.
Can't. You gotta remember, they're only designed to do exactly what they're designed to do. There's no dramatic moment able to happen.
Yeah, I'll guess we'll see what the kid does.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at art. I went to Art Station and I just went down a hole. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but we're gonna go ahead. Is everyone back?
Let me go get a quick refill. I'm just going to have to grab a
God
bottle.
damn it! You should have been doing that this whole time you were talking.
Gross with conversation.
I'm outside, so it's okay.
Okay, there we go. That's what
There
I
we
was
go.
asking.
Yeah. See, I'm also trying to think of like, okay, I am not a experienced Pokemon
Yes.
master.
Yes.
I
the other
am
thing
a
you guys gotta
noob.
consider. Types advantages, all those things.
Yeah.
You guys don't know any of that.
I do not know that if me and Stone's Pico Pet went one-on-one, it is going to be a very, very long battle.
Yeah, you can ask her. Like I had to break him down, and I was still kind of doubting it. But then I didn't want to shit on the concept because what if you guys rolled something good?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you guys got that one, you would have the option to swap it, or you could have one that just refuses to do anything. Personally, I was actually hoping that someone got it just as a gag. You got the useless one. In actual game, it's one of the strongest, but in this world, it's basically useless. 'Cause it refuses to do the one thing you want it to do.
I just wonder if I need to, out of the Pokemon that you rolled for me, I've got like one of my top favorites.
Yeah, you guys can't, act
Yeah.
biased because you got one of her favorites too.
Oh yeah. My ultimate favorite is the Vulpix Ninetales line, Ninetales being my main, but Vulpix comes first. But Eevee is my second favorite.
I'm back. Just have to sit
It's
down.
funny too because I think Sin actually grabbed one of his favorites too. I think Abra's on his list.
I got a Weedle.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Hey, Reed wasn't pretty good. They were tough. Once
I know,
you know,
it's that middle zone. It's that middle
Yeah.
grind you gotta get past, but
yeah. Once you get past that middle bit, you are on a roll. Just keep using like harden all the time, because the more they harden, the quicker they evolve.
Harden.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
Like, well, it's gonna get to the other stage. It's gonna be a bit of a long journey.
I'm a little bit sad that you can't interact with them. So I wanted the scene of just harden, 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 pick it up and throw it.
that's exactly why I didn't want it to work that way.
See, my bigger question is like, taking the Ghastly for example. In order to get Gengar, you need to trade it with another person. How does that work?
Moose, you want to trade?
I've already accounted for all of these things.
I know. I just find it funny. Just like, here, hold my Pika
Again,
Pet for like
guys,
a day.
guys, this is not Pokemon. This is Pico Pets.
I
I
know.
will
I know.
totally give it back to you, Moose.
No one ever gives back the tradable pets. They keep that.
I know. I was that child.
To be fair, I'm still that person. Do a surprise trade and they give me something that's tradable. I'm like, nope, that is mine now.
Mm-hmm.
You give him something else in return.
Oh yeah, I give him like I do that. I am one of those players that I will get Pidgeys and I'll surprise trade them in hopes of getting something good.
I got I was trading once with a friend, and he was trading me the Abra that evolves into Alakazam or whatever it is, the middle one.
I'm back.
And I'm
Kadabra.
like, haha. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna totally steal this from him. I find out he was holding an Everstone. I'm like, you bench.
I don't know what that is.
Basically
so
stops
is everyone
evolving.
back?
The Everstone makes it so they don't evolve.
Can't you
Yeah.
take it off?
You can, but you still need to trade it in order to evolve it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I get you.
So it means that I had to trade it to evolve it now.
I mean, then you get a friend that you can trust. But we will Moose, you
No
there?
one. It's Pokemon. You can't trust anyone.
Moose.
I am now.
Yay.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and continue. As you guys, begin to walk out there and you see this little setup, Bill kind of looks all over you guys. Okay, a couple ground rules. Now that you've bonded with one, please do not try to pick up another person's Pico Ball.
Okay.
They kind of repel each other. We're not 100% why, it just happens.
Okay. So we can only have our one, potentially.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we able to catch more, or is this like a bonded thing?
You can hold one Pico Ball.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Their forms are somewhat fluid. When they gain a certain power, they seem to change form. Not only that, if you battle a wild one that has not claimed a Pico Ball for its home, if you beat it out in the wild and you best it, your Pico Pet can assume its form. It is a permanent change, so choose wisely.
Holy crow.
Okay. The Ultimate Nuzlocke.
Yeah.
Basically, it's kind of what I designed. There can only be one.
Okay. Any other rules?
I mean, don't throw them at people, they hurt.
Is that speaking
know-
from experience?
He just kind of stares off in the distance.
Catch
Long
our picture.
forgotten memory, and just like rubs a faded scar underneath of his beard. Let's just move on from that. So it's how the rules work is very simple. If you want to duel or challenge someone, you just roll your Pico Ball at theirs. That's all it takes. When they clang together, the vibration seems to send the Pico Pets out in a frenzy, and they just battle to the end.
So you can't just say, "Hey, you," walk up to them and say, "I want to battle."
I mean, you can, but then you have to roll it at them.
Hmm.
Because if you roll it at them and they refuse to accept, they just keep walking and nothing happens. Because now you're
Rude.
just gonna walk over and pick it up.
I have a
Just don't worry. Okay.
Is this a battle to the death?
Sort of. A Pico Pet that has a Pico Ball, if it is basically beaten, and it loses its form and ceases to function, it will recover inside of your ball.
Okay.
Mm.
How long does that take usually?
About 8 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
So, don't think you're gone for good, and don't worry, as long as a Pico Pet resides in a Pico Ball, one cannot assume its form and steal it.
Okay.
Okay,
You
so
can
it's
only do that with wilds.
so the wild ones could potentially disappear, but not peppers or peepers.
Yes, and
Okay.
the wild ones, as far as we can tell, when you destroy them, they are just gone.
Okay.
Again, there's not a lot we know about them. There's still a lot of questions.
With the new, if peepers beat, for example, a wild tremors, and then assumed a wild tremor, would it still have the memories of a peeper?
I mean, it seems to interact and bond with the person the same ways.
Okay,
You'll
okay.
notice certain personality traits and things like that that remain intact.
Okay.
And they actually seem to enjoy the assimilation
Hmm.
in some regard. But just like with anything, there is a time and place. You guys will notice that wilds don't exist. I'm sure you've never seen any that exist outside of old Doc's room. Basically, they only come out during certain storms. After these storms arrive, you will find wild ones all throughout. They exist for a while and then they fade away. We don't know where they go or what happens. They just come out during certain times, and that's when they find the rocks and stuff like that. Some of them reside there, and others just keep battling until they disappear. Um, and just know that if you keep them outside of their ball, because you can keep them out, and some of them do like being outside of the ball. If they're out for an extended period of time, like more than 12 hours, they just disappear.
Okay.
So it's good to play with them, but know there's a limit. Any other questions?
Sorry, you can't just have them sitting on my shoulder.
You can, but just know that they will probably vacate to your ball. Again, the bond seems to be very dominant on you, so you can command it to do things. That's how the battles work. So you can command it to stay out of its ball. Just know that if you do that and don't tell it to go back, it could just disappear. But
I look
if
at my
it's-
little bird.
but if
Just do
it's
whatever you feel like.
yeah, if it free roams, it will know to head back to the ball before anything bad happens.
I'm more than happy just to let my little bird just free roam as much as it wants. Popping
Okay,
in
we
and
just
out.
wanted you to be aware because we've had kids in the past say, "Hey, play around all day," and it does, and then it disappears, and then we have to deal with a crying child.
Yeah, I shouldn't laugh at that. It's not funny.
Yeah, it's actually really sad when it happens. Some kids have these Pico pets for years. But
So I've on my bed for months.
without further ado, if two people would like to volunteer,
I guess I'll try it.
any person who would like to
I was going to
join
say,
him?
Scales is already on that pitch.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've already run over to the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, all you guys have to do is roll the balls at each other, and it will begin.
Okay.
Okay. Kessel kind of does it like a bowling ball.
I just like gently roll it, like do like a tiny underthrow, and just let it roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with that,
Dun, dun,
I would
dun,
like you
dun,
guys
dun,
both
dun.
to roll initiative.
Okay.
And-
Initiative?
For who? The pet or?
Yes, the pet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was in my initiative for a second.
People.
And I was not thinking that you guys would get into this quickly. I should have known better.
Oh, no, I'm just pulling
You
something
threw us
up on
into this.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Then it's on you.
Black and white battle.
Dun.
Okay, here we go. Just give me a second. Always have a default map on standby.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, and go ahead and summon your Pico Pets in the middle. I think I counted that right.
Think so.
Give me a second. Oh no, I was off.
Is there tokens on it? Yeah, there is. Is it out there?
1, 2.
Or is there more?
Yeah, just right in the middle. Because
Right
your
in- oh,
balls,
like directly in the
your
middle?
balls literally clash together, and in the moment they clash, there's like a vibrating noise, like,
Yeah, I
and
think
you watch
that's.
as both of the pets pop out of it. They are about 5 feet in front of each other, but your balls are both in the center. Man, I'm rusty about setting up fights.
No worries. It's been a while.
Yeah. Dramatic
By the way, I
music.
rolled my initiative. It was
I know.
7.
Yeah.
I'm updating it right now.
Okay.
Okay. Scales. Yours seems to be quicker to act. Your turn.
Um.
Eh,
This is
I know this is
again.
100%.
I'm just gonna like look and like. How do I do the 5 fin?
As you're
I-
thinking about this,
Yeah, I'm
a
just
sensation goes through your head.
okay.
You feel the excitement coming from your Pico pet. That lust for fight, that challenge. And in this moment, somewhere in the back of your head, you remember, just some words come to brain. Go ahead and look at your chart. You
Okay, I know what
get
this
the
stuff
general
does.
sense of the stuff, yes.
Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to clarify.
I was
Uh,
waiting for this event to happen. Same
yes.
thing with you, Kestrel.
I
Like, you just,
assume, yeah, I'm looking at the thing.
yeah, it doesn't happen until you guys first engage in your battle.
Okay, cool.
Now you are 100% bonded with your Pico pet.
Okay, I'll just like yell out, Peeper, tackle the tremor thing. Yeah, punch it, and then I'll get him to tackle.
Well, you gotta have him move up first.
Oh yeah, move
There's
up.
movement
Oh
involved in
yeah,
this.
yeah. I forgot the movement thing. Yeah,
This ain't like, you know, your
Yeah.
regular stuff. Okay, this is D&D.
I know. No, move up and then I imagine like Peeper just going
what
up and
does it
just running as hard
That
as he
does
can.
hit, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, roll damage.
yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Damn, you rolled really well on that one.
Yeah, Jesus. How do I? Well, I have my health, but like, how do I subtract it?
Just go ahead and keep note of it.
Okay. Well, I'll just say this: Tremor's not looking too hot. Like, you look kind of cut off guard at the very least. My turn, so to speak.
Yep.
Tremor, sting it with that stinger on your head.
That definitely hits. Yes.
Okay. Damon, I got a question.
Okay.
When it says 1d6 plus move, like, what does that mean exactly?
That's your you roll it. It's already on your
Okay.
character sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a 5. Not adding the 4 because I think the 4's
Yeah.
probably natural 20. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the natural 20 part?
Yeah.
Peeper.
Oh, you're also poisoned too.
Oh, okay. Do I need to do anything for that?
Same thing as poison as D&D. You have disadvantage on attack rolls. It's the same stuff.
Okay. I guess it's my go. Let's take a gander. Oh, on here. I am hazarding. Actually, I'll need to. I has a question just because I noticed it's on tackle and not on my other 2. The other 2 don't have a casting time for what type of they are. Are they all actions or are some of them like bonus actions or whatever?
I believe they're all actions.
Ah, okay.
But, just give me a second. I gotta make sure that.
Yeah. If you need me to remind you, I can tell you what the stuff
Yeah,
is.
they're all actions.
Ah, okay. I was like, come on, Peeper. Tackle it right in the go. Right in the go.
That was disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 2. Nah.
That one.
No, you miss.
Okay. Disengage is an action, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell him to disengage. So. Wah.
Okay.
And I can still move, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see what the movement of my guy is. 20 feet. Okay.
Sorry if I seem distant because I'm also updating stuff that was not set up.
No
right.
worries. He's gonna go right here.
Okay.
End turn.
Is shit? Isn't disengage a 5e with full movement?
Disengage is full. is full movement, I
Yeah, just
believe.
let you
And
know.
action?
I believe it was action. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an action for disengaging and moving at a full
Yeah.
movement.
If you're disengaging, you can move 5 feet. If you want to move any further, then that's your movement.
Okay,
Oh.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
I must have fucked that real up.
At
Give me a
least,
second.
at least I think that's how it goes.
Just yes for now.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
should really have this down.
Alright, well, it's my, but that was my turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Because I don't know. Is all of my stuff a range of 5 foot, or can Growl be a distance thing? Because I don't have any ranges either.
God damn it. Give me a second.
Learning new mechanics.
For which one?
Growl. I imagine Tail Whip you gotta be pretty close, but I don't know if Growl had a range.
I always thought Tail Whip was just a visual thing.
I imagine
It's
it
100
more.
feet.
It's 100
It's
feet.
100 feet.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I imagine Tail Whip is more like a slap on the face.
Okay, to help me, because this is a lot to do all at once.
Mhm.
For those who are getting ready and for things, here you go. This is the link to what I have.
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
They're
I've got
all
the.
on there.
Yeah, I got the. Oh, I don't have the picture on there. Then, okay, okay. 100 feet.
So that's that. That's that.
How far can you? Okay, so that's 50 feet. Yeah, I am gonna move Peepers.
I have a perfect.
Okay. No, you were wrong about disengage as well.
Oh.
Disengage is a disengage action. There is 0 movement a part of it. All it does is allow your movement to not provoke opportunity attacks.
Okay, okay.
So when you disengage, you take your action to disengage, and if you want to move, you just use your regular movement.
Okay, that's why I followed,
Okay,
so...
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Sorry, still getting used from 4E.
No worries.
I am gonna go over to here, a bit closer to me, and I am gonna like visualize like my people going good. As I growl at the little buggy, and I believe the Pico Pen needs to make a wisdom saving throw against the move's DC.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
So, wisdom, so
Yeah.
let's see.
Okay. Okie dokie. So -1 to your attacks then.
Okay. Okay. And,
And also, as we're getting this information, if you want to update your Pico Pet with like this information, like growl range 100 feet, go ahead and add that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
okay.
But it is your turn.
Okay, 1 second. I'm just like looking for stuff.
Okay, if you have questions, I'm still here to help out. I got the pages
Okay.
up now too, so.
Alright, cool. Well, I'm gonna look at Trimmer. Try to slow it down with something, and then I'm gonna use String Shot.
Okay.
As a range of 60 feet. You're still within its range. Okay, so that'll be 6.
6 is a miss.
Okay.
String goes wide, just kind of lands on the grass around it.
Alright, he's gonna move up 1 and end turn.
Okay.
Okay. Tail Whip is 5 foot, yeah?
Tail Whip is 100 feet.
Oh, it's also 100 feet. Yeah, okay, okay. down.
Just to let you know, boy, you are growled for 1 minute.
Okay.
Oh, the woman thing.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, shake your booty and go and cast tail whip. Yeah.
You watch as the animal just kind of shakes its tail at the thing, and it almost feels like your tremor is like kind of going with it. It's kind of throwing off his like normal like defensive stance.
Yeah.
It's
So
making his movement very predictable.
Okay.
But
It's
go ahead.
very interesting, isn't that right, Auntie?
Wisdom.
Oh wait,
It's
yeah,
quite engaging, honestly.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, he starts matching the movement, making it very predictable.
yes, cool. So I get +1 to the stuff.
Okay.
Does that end your turn?
I am gonna move him 5, 10. Okay, there. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay. Kestrel, you're up.
Keep trying to slow it down.
That will hit, yeah.
Okay. So your movement is reduced by 10 for the duration.
Mm-hmm.
And let me know when your movement gets to 0, because at that point you are restrained.
Okie dokie. Reduced by 10, okie dokie. Yeah, I guess. And you can do anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. I guess I shall move 20 foot to go. Is that 25? And that's 25. There we go. 20 foot there, and yeah, just keep shaking your butt at it. It seems to like it. Go.
I'm taking that out of context.
Really?
There you go.
Okay, let's try this again.
Yeah, you fail.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My turn?
Unless
Alright.
you have anything else.
I don't. No.
Okay. Keep doing that, what I said. Slow it down again. 14.
That is a hit. Yeah. I'll be restrained then.
You're restrained?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you are restrained and poisoned.
Yay. What do I do? If you.
You're just standing there. You can break out.
Yeah.
I believe there's a DC for the string shot.
It did not say.
It doesn't
oh no,
say.
yeah, there's no breakout. You're just stuck.
That ends my turn because that was my main action and, you know, movement now, so, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if. I know there's a thing for restraints of status.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Stop trying to throw your Pokemon knowledge into there. No, you are restrained for 1 minute.
Can I still attack?
I mean,
I don't know.
yes. You just can't move. Your movement right now is
Okay,
0.
but I can still tackle it,
Yes.
essentially. Cool. And it's like, go get him, tackle
Hey,
again! Tackle! And this is gonna have the +1 versus the -2. Oh, wait, no. No, it's just +1 to me. Tackle, tackle, tackle. Damn it.
That would be 7.
No, that'd be 8. 8 is the
Well-
thing, because I.
Okay, still no.
Oh, wait. Is it 8? Actually, no, it's a +2. Did I do tail whip twice? Yeah, I did
Oh, yeah,
tail
you
whip
did
twice, but it's
tail whip
+2.
twice.
Yeah, so it'll be 9.
Okay, that matches, so I'm down.
Okay.
Okay.
And now, just for
Restrained.
damage. Yeah.
You just kind of like pulls his head back and it just slams right into the ooh.
I broke the DM.
That's why you don't act out stuff with headsets.
Yeah.
And you just headbutt it. and you watch as its head crushes in. It squeals out in pain and fades away into nothing.
Tremor, no!
I like rush over to my little Peeper. It's like, good job, Peeper.
It's just like
Yeah.
sitting there, like completely wrapped up in
Yeah.
this white gooey substance. It's
Can I
just kinda sitting
touch
there,
the
like,
white gooey substance?
No, your hand goes right through it. It's just sitting there, like,
You did good, and I'll, as if patting the head.
yeah. It just kind of sits up there staring at you, like kind of weirded out at the fact that it can't move.
Maybe try and put it back in the bowl.
Turn off and turn it on again.
Yeah. I'll just like hold the ball out forward and like try and wiggle. Like, I'm just looking
Strange.
confused.
And then a minute passes, and then it's free.
I knew you could do it, Peeper. Yeah.
Guess it looks kind of down.
That was a lot of fun watching you two.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Just remember, guys, they do get stronger. So right now they might feel a little, fragile. They do get pretty vicious.
Like, so when they get beaten, do they go automatically in the ball?
It will reappear in 8 hours.
Okay.
8 hours.
I was
Yes.
just wondering about the whole, like, the 12-hour thing, if it's outside of the ball, that kind of thing.
No, that's two very different things. As soon as they are
Okay.
beaten, they seem to just restart reforming in the ball, and they just
Okay.
need some time to rest and recover.
Okay.
And yes, 8 hours.
I have a question of how do I mark the fin down?
What do you mean?
The moves just on the character sheet.
Oh,
Okay.
that. Yeah. It's just use the thingies that are. It is under as that.
Yeah, like the spell slot thing. That's what
Yeah,
I've been
the
doing.
spell slot.
You mean where mine says 15? Just scroll down. Because I can't press the other fin.
Yeah, like the down arrow.
Okay, I just didn't want to lose what it was originally.
Oh no, you have to keep track of that.
Yeah, that. Okay, I gotta keep track of it. Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the restriction of the system. Trust me, I tried a few workarounds. I mean, there's a few other ways we could attempt to, but it's just not going to be neat and pretty.
Okay, I'll just make
This
a.
is a pretty easy way to keep track of it.
Yeah. I'll just keep a side fin of what it is.
Yeah, if you guys want, you guys can add an action or something under your character sheet as like a note of saying like, okay, these moves, this is how much they have.
Yeah.
Again, this is rough setup. Like once we see how people like it, what people want to change and do stuff like that, we will update it accordingly.
Okay.
I wanted to go kind of with the default setup. And trust me, it's a little difficult to try to shove another game inside of another game.
Yeah. There we go.
But
Okay.
Bill claps at you guys like, okay, so that was your first one. How did it feel? You get that rush when it first starts?
Oh yeah. Like when you did that attack, I almost thought like it was gonna be a one and done kind of thing.
I must admit that that Stinner attack that got people pretty good, I think. But yeah, they're both hardy little fins, even if they are so weak apparently. But I'm proud of you, people. Yeah. And I, as if stroke it behind the ear.
And just to let you guys know, the longer you guys bond with it, sometimes you don't even have to call out what you want it to do. Eventually, it will get to the point where it just will know what you're thinking for it to do.
That's cool.
How did you enjoy
anyone
that,
else?
people?
It looks very excited and happy.
Yeah.
It nuzzles you and just kind of climbs in the ball.
There we go. Take a good rest.
And if you guys want to take a long rest with them, just know that keep them in there for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you say, Stone?
Sounds
Want to
good
give it
to
a
me.
shot?
You know,
Unless I look down to the boy, unless you want to try using yours.
I think I'll give it a little time first.
Fair enough. Alright,
Professor, do you
Stone.
grab your ball?
Hey.
What?
Do you grab your ball?
Oh yeah, I go back up and pick mine up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got mine. I'll stand next to the kid. It's like, it was
Yeah, so I'll go pick mine up and yeah, go that way. Yeah.
it was
That was really cool.
yeah. It's like I didn't know what to do when people was out, and then it was like I
How did you
knew.
know to call that stuff?
It's like I knew. Maybe if
Yeah, it was kind of a weird, like, connection kind of deal.
I know you said that it doesn't like it seemed a bit shy, but maybe you would get that connection as well.
And you just
Maybe
kind of
like
stare at the ball.
yeah, you could like try talking to it maybe.
Yeah, I'll do that. And he just kind of walks over like a bit of a distance,
Mhm.
sits down, like kind of Indian style, puts the ball like in that space in between his legs, and he just kind of sits down and starts just kind of talking to it.
Also, I just realized in hindsight what I just did. I told this kid to talk to a psychic Pokemon.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, you don't know it's psychic Pokemon.
I know. I'm thinking out of character. I realized this may have been a bad call.
Not just any psychic Pokemon either.
The psychic.
Well, we have our BEG for the campaign.
I know.
Amazing.
Okay, yeah, so
Background. What? So all humanoids are bad?
I should murder them all? I didn't say he was a bad guy, I just said he was
No,
he's
I
just
know.
difficult.
Uh,
Anyways, yeah, so Bill's looking at you guys. So anyone else?
Alright then, you and me, Stone.
Yep.
Good luck.
Alright, now I'm
Thank
trying
you.
to
have fun.
trying to control this shit on a tablet. Oh, this is learning.
Oh, the learning.
Actually, you just want to drag my character in place? Oh, well, I got it.
Yeah, you gotta learn, dude.
I have to learn.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Is that right?
That's about right.
Where are you for? There we go. Alright.
Okay, you guys both step up to the cement little block. You guys get your ball in hand.
Ready?
As I'll ever be.
Okay.
Also, I think I'll try out a name while I'm at this. And I'm going to get ready to throw the ball.
Yep.
Or
Stone
roll
throws
the
the ball. Roll the ball. Stone rolls the ball as well.
Okay. You guys roll the ball. Doo, doo, doo. It's weird.
As a... Good.
The Stone, you roll yours pretty straight. Auntie, your throw's a little off. But strangely enough, as it's going kind of closer together, yours kind of starts curving around and starts heading straight for the other ball.
As is...
And,
Oh, good.
and as it's doing that, you yell out,
Trip, I choose you!
okay, and the ball smack, and there's that vibrational noise. It doesn't just hear it, you almost kind of feel it too, and both of you feel a sudden surge of energy as
Ooh.
both of your Pico Pets pop out and get in a defensive stance. Go ahead and roll initiative. And bring your tokens out to the field 5 feet apart from each other in the middle.
5 feet apart.
From us or them?
In between them. So, wait, is that the point? Okay, really should.
Because this will be a 5 foot.
Yeah, so, boom. No, like this.
Yep.
Think 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. How did I fuck this up? 1,
There we
2,
go.
3, 4, 5. 1,
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, that's right. There we go.
Alright, now.
That's a roll initiative.
Yeah, they have their own character page and whatnot, so.
I couldn't assign a name, so I just went on the current song I was listening.
Okay. Stone, you are up first.
Okay. I'm gonna have my Pico Pet go up to the burb. And Stone's gonna say, Slay! Use lick! Now I'm gonna roll it.
Okay.
Blah.
I believe that hits.
I believe so as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and
Click damage.
yeah, click damage, and
Okay.
you Auntie, need to roll a con save for your creature. If it does not have a bonus, then just roll con. Okay. It is not paralyzed, but it does take 6 damage.
Yeah, it's KO'd.
Okay. Flip out the ball. You're like click, and it just the bird almost looks scared as this insanely large tongue comes out of this small little floating, like almost gaseous, weirdly shaped, malformed creature. A huge tongue just comes out and just slaps and slowly licks up its face, and it just like almost rips its head off. You can actually see the tearing around the neck of the bird as its head is almost ripped off completely.
Ooh.
And as it's tearing away and you hear like this bird screeching, it fades away into nothing.
I thought this was gonna be a good bout, eh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you can never tell what happens in that Pico Pet battle.
Just Auntie just standing there, just still in the ball throne position.
Yeah, like you're still rolled out.
It feels kind of bad. Like,
Yeah, like I said, they'll get a little hardier as they improve.
I might need to rethink that name.
And the kid goes, "Woo!" She needs to talk to his ball.
Thank you. You did good, Slade. As
Killer name for the Slade.
I give my gaseous ball of awesome, admiration.
Okay. It goes back to just floating and just kind of staring.
Perfect.
Menacingly.
You basically got the emo one.
Yay!
No, that's what the kid got.
Yeah. Yeah. But Bill kind of looks. Oh, that was kind of quick. But yeah.
I just realised I
So,
was muted this whole time. I was saying, like I got my peeper ball just holding close to my mouth, hugging it, be like, yeah, we're not gonna go against that one. At least not until you're tougher tough. I just hug it,
Okay.
shielding it.
Bill just kind of looks at you all. Well, I mean, it seems like they're gonna have to rest for now. But do you guys wanna? Let's. Actually, I'm getting kind of hungry. You guys want to stop off to grab a quick lunchbox on the way out?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Utai,
Auntie's not even reacting, still in the ball throw position.
Auntie, are you okay?
I blinked, what happened?
The kid walks over and just kind of pats you on like your, like the lower of your back, Auntie, and goes, "It's okay. At least yours came out."
No.
Oh, no.
And then turns around and starts following Bill.
I don't know what I feel more bad for. His pickle pet, or
I was gonna say, does the kid still have his peekaboo?
Yeah, he still has his
Oh,
ball
okay.
staring at it.
Okay, I just make sure he didn't leave it
It's so
behind.
cute.
He wasn't trying. He was looking on the bright side.
I know. It's cute.
It was just one of those, oh, child.
The honesty of a child. But Bill leads you guys through as you guys follow. Across the road in the kind of cat corner towards the eatery. There are a few people like running up and just running immediately out with these like little boxes. And Bill just says, "You guys wait up here. I can avoid the rush a little bit."
Okay.
And he disappears in, and then after a few moments, he comes out with a few bags full of these boxes. So, why don't we head over towards my office and, actually, I mean, he kind of thinks about it for a few moments. Actually, why don't I just take you guys over to my place and we can, enjoy lunch there.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, sounds good.
Alrighty.
Auntie, are you okay?
Okay.
Sure.
Follow me this way.
Is Auntie still in the ball throwing position as they walk?
I have a feeling you're just staring at your ball at this point.
Essentially.
Yeah, like you're just like, you tried.
That poor burp.
But
Literally just going, I'm sorry.
yeah, there's no response though. It's
You
Yeah.
killed it, Jim.
but you guys make your way back over towards Haas Docks area as he guides you, and over there is one of those, automated vehicles, and he's like, okay, why don't you guys all hop in? It's gonna be a little bit of a drive, but the road down there is a straight path, and not everyone uses it, so I should be able to get there pretty quickly.
Okay.
Okay.
enough.
Kestrel hops in.
He sets all the bags next to him up front. And the kid just kind of sits down and just
Yeah.
continues to stare at his ball.
I'll sit next to the kid and also stare at his ball. Just go.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Eh. Wisdom. 14.
You guys pile into the vehicle. Eventually, it starts moving. Drives down a couple roads, and eventually, there's a road that kind of leaves away from like the center part of a lot of the buildings. Buildings get more and more sparse, smaller. Seems to be more space in between stuff, and he drives for like a good while, like about an hour or so. And you guys are moving pretty quick. And at the end, as you guys are making your way towards here, the last little while, looking out for where you guys are heading, I'll just say you guys eventually all notice this, and those who notice it first can point out, you eventually see the beach and ocean, water.
Someone remind me, what are we doing here again?
To have lunch.
Yeah.
Justin having lunch at his place.
This lunch on the beach. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And he continues to drive, and eventually you guys are basically on the beach area. Just to let you guys know, he takes you guys. Let me get all these out of the way. He takes you guys all the way over to here, like the edge of here.
Okay.
And this is home, just for our reference, right?
Yes, and if you guys measure out, that is to scale.
Okay, so it's a good 100 mile.
It was a good 100 miles. Like, it takes more than an hour. Easy. I mean, he was flying pretty quick. These vehicles that you guys find yourself in, they can get up there, like, very quick. Close to a real-life car.
So, is your house really this far away?
Oh, yeah, it's right over there. As he continues to pull off, like, the road, and continues along, not on the beach, but next to it, where there's still a lot more firm ground, and continues along. And eventually you guys see a small little shack on the open. It's kind of hard to tell from this distance, but he gets out and he says, right this way.
Okay.
Huh. Quaint.
And he eventually takes you over to this little thing. What you see is a wood structure on some like kind of like it's kind of stilted up a few feet off the ground. Held by some type of reed or bamboo type wood at the bottom on these 4 pillars, and think of it like a not 100% a lean-to. Think about a small shack that's missing one of its walls.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I'll
facing
be right
towards
back.
it's facing towards the beach, and inside you guys see like a little like a bed set up with like a few things here and there.
So, or as advanced as your people are, I honestly expected more.
Oh, well, I don't need much to live, and I'm not always busy and working, and I like I like the beach, so I figured this is a good place.
You just like sitting here and getting high, don't you?
I mean, not in front of a kid.
Yes.
But yeah,
well,
if you points kind of towards back where the grass and stuff is like off the beach, he says, "See over there, that little wood structure over there? That's the bathroom if you guys need it. Don't worry, there is a system for running water. It's a little salty, but it gets you clean. We can always rinse you guys off once we eventually get it back, but you guys are probably going to continue to get wet anyways. So for now, let's just enjoy some food.
Okay.
And he goes in his little bodega thingy, like he pulls out like a blanket and he kind of sets it out in front. It's pretty matted kind of blanket. You suppose that it's probably used for this, as he just kind of lays it down and starts setting the food on it.
Hmm.
And he kind of just sets up like a little flat, non-sandy area for you guys to eat.
Kester will sit down at one of the spots and start munching.
Yeah, it's various sandwiches and stuff like that. Seems to be like maybe leftovers as well.
Mhm.
Some of it at this point is lukewarm if it was hot. And some of the cool stuff isn't as cool as it should be. Basically, various food taken an hour away from something then eaten.
So a picnic.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
So do you like make this like I guess drive every morning to the town?
Well, I mean, every once in a while, I'll stay. I'll sleep on Doc's couch,
Okay.
but usually,
Oh, wow.
it allows me to clear my head and just, really, because from here, as he points, kind of to the right, going down the beach, from this distance, you can see more of the mountain. He says if you go right over there at the base of that mountain, you'll find our mining town.
Okay.
And he points the opposite way. And he says, you keep going down there. That's where closer to where they found you, and that's kind of the wilderness area. There's not a lot of people, if any, that live over there. I think there's only 2 or 3 that live down that way. That's where the rest of the remnants of the greenskin live. Those creatures you had to deal with. But we mostly just let them and animals keep to that area. If it comes to close, we deal with it, but we usually let it be.
Okay.
And then out across the ocean, as he points out, you can't see anything. He says, if you keep going that way, you're going to make it to our fishing town.
Well,
Fishing town. Sounds quaint.
so do you guys like keep in contact with all these towns?
Yeah, we're going there today.
Oh, okay.
Figured I'd give you the grand tour. And I made sure that the family that is taking us over there would interest you, young lady, as he points towards you, Scales.
Oh?
Yes, they are some of your people, and you seem to have a lot of strange questions about them, so I figured it'd be best to have one of them guide you and, answer any questions you might have.
That'd be good.
Yeah, like the egg question we had this morning.
Yeah. How did I find that egg, by the way?
He looks very confused.
Oh, we were talking about whether or not she eats eggs whole or cooked, that kind of thing.
Oh, I mean, if you want to, I guess. I sometimes do.
I was gonna say, how did I find the ball egg?
It was goopy. Not a whole bunch of flavor profile compared to like the scrambled eggs and the sunny side up eggs. Like those were seasoned and cooked and good. Just
I mean,
kind of,
like,
it's
Mrs. Doubtfrost put some salt in it, I think. So.
Yeah, but soccer
on
just
the
rolls off the shell.
eggshell. So she didn't have an eggshell. She had an egg. So she just had raw egg, which doesn't have a lot of flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of goes down your throat before you can really register stuff. It's
Okay.
just kind of a weird aftertaste.
You could probably mix it with something. Tastes pretty good.
I have a lot of questions.
Well, for now, let's just enjoy some lunch in the beach.
I like that.
I second that.
And you guys all enjoy a bit of delicious packed lunches. And when you guys are about ready to finish, off in the distance, you guys do notice that there seems to be something approaching from the water.
I shall take a gander.
What's that?
Oh, that's probably them now.
Did Slade get back in the ball?
Was that?
Did Slade get back in the ball?
I mean, he's popped out a few times. The Pico pets that are conscious, they still continue to poke their heads out and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just a ball kept poking out of a ball.
I was gonna say, if my Pikachu ever comes out, I'll like see if it takes like any bits of, I don't know, sandwich or something.
You hold a sandwich towards your Pico pet, it just kind of looks at it, stands on it, walks around, like just puts his head through it, and just doesn't know what you're trying to do.
I will pick it up and mimic eating, and see if it gets it. Aww.
Okay. It goes to bite towards your hand in the piece of food, and its head and mouth goes through your hand in the food.
I pat it on the head. Or imitate patting on the head. Do Pico
It looks
pets have
happy
their own
because-
food?
It looks happy because you pet it.
Yeah.
It thinks it's successful when whatever you're trying to teach it.
Okay.
You've taught it now to pretend to eat food whenever you're eating.
Yay.
Yay.
They'll come and play later. And so you asked that out loud?
Yeah.
They actually don't eat.
Oh. But can they?
He picks off a piece of food from his sandwich and he throws it through your peepers.
What does Peepers do?
Nothing. It doesn't even seem to notice.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it
Still
had
staring
just had
at
its.
you.
I don't know if it
No,
had
it's
like
still
its mouth
engaged
open.
with you.
Okay. Like, ah. Is noted.
Trust me, we've had plenty of kids try to feed their Pico Pets and, it just ends up with a mess for the parents.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. You should have seen, it was a couple of years ago, this one little boy, his father makes amazing chili. Probably the best in all the aisles, and it was getting ready for a summer cooking kind of event we were doing in town, and sure enough, the kid thought that since the chili was so good that the Pico Pet would want it, and yeah, entire pot of chili on the ground.
What's a chili?
It's like a stew kind of thing that has like beans, meats, all that kind of stuff.
How would you know that?
It's chili. You never
Chili
had
was. Chili was not invented until 1940.
Weather seems fine to me, Stone said.
Forms of chili have been around for centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's essentially a stew.
Yeah.
Yes, but it hasn't been called chili until 1945.
But this is
I'll allow
D&D Pokemon. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, like it probably hasn't been canned until that time. I would say.
I can imagine that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah.
Just
chili.
let it slide.
Yeah. This is the whole horse issue again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Horse issue all over again, guys. Let's not get
Look.
him, okay? If you want to
Look,
pretend like you don't know chili and he says that he does, again, we're working with a lot of plot holes and black zones and okay, we got it. We got it.
Look, you're just lucky that I didn't call my bird a horse without a name.
I mean, you could have.
I had it written down. I just changed it at the last second.
But Bill does reach over to one of the boxes that has like a little, what you guys assume is like a plastic container, and he pulls out some brownish red liquid stuff in it, and he kind of slides it over to you, Auntie. That's chili.
Oh, I take a bite of it.
Little sweet, little spicy, very hearty, pretty fucking good.
I like this. This is good.
Yeah, that's not, the guy's chili, but it's a good one.
I prefer spicy.
I
Well,
imagine
I mean, I got
how's
some
the waist.
spices if you want to add it to it.
Ooh,
We got some devil roast if you want some, and feeling brave.
what's that?
He just kind of chuckles, gets up, starts rummaging through like a few boxes and like a little cabinet that he has in his thing. He really only has a couple boxes, bed, some clothes hanging up in various parts of the walls, ceilings, and stuff like that, and just a cabinet.
Gosh,
He
what's
starts-
that?
Yeah, basically like a beach bum bachelor pad.
You know
Um,
what? I respect this way of life.
It's not bad. But eventually he comes out with a little glass vial and he says, here. And he pulls out a small little wood toothpick and he just takes it and he's like, what do you want me to spice up?
Well, do you have another thing of chili or something like that? Or like, do we have any kind of food that's kind of like, suited for spiciness?
I mean, he just goes through and grabs like another thing of chili. Yeah, the chili was on the menu today, so
Awesome.
he just takes this little toothpick, dips the tiniest little bit into the vial, and you're like, okay, man, I like spicy. You don't need to do that.
Yeah,
he
I'm
just-
kind of like that.
It like takes the little tip of the toothpick and just puts it in your chili, and he's like, okay, mix that up.
It does so. Alright. and then he just, he doesn't try to very nonchalantly just take a bite of it.
It's hot. Hot. Like, you're gonna regret this tomorrow hot.
I have
You immediately want things and agents for your mouth. And then he chuckles and puts the bottle down.
question.
I answer as he walks over to the water and begins to wash his hands after messing with the bottle.
Is that the hottest thing you have?
No. There's one other, but, yeah, I will never.
For size first.
I will never. I'm
No,
not legally allowed to feed it to anyone.
I just hold a finger. No, I was just wondering if anyone wants to play a game of Uncle.
No, there's one other pepper that we've discovered that's hotter, but it will literally cause your throat to burn.
Okay, fair enough. I just want to have a little fun, but that seems a bit too much.
You're looking at Kestrel. He does not look good as is.
Yeah.
He is crying. He is sweating. Like, his eyes are red. He looks fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna slide some whatever we're drinking towards him.
At this point, I assume you're grabbing for crackers, bread, and milk.
Yeah, like all the stuff to cool it down.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, if you, like, take a little bit of the chili with, like, some of the spare bread and just kind of dip something into the chili mix, it's not as bad. It still has a lot of kick.
Mhm.
But you asked for the spiciest, and as someone who has tried the world's spiciest, I know how bad it can get.
Castro, you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you lying?
Maybe.
Fair
Yep.
enough.
Bill kind of chuckles. He's like, I don't know. Why don't you try it and you can find out?
Not today.
He kind of snaps his fingers like he's disappointed.
I was gonna say, what's
But-
the kid up to?
He's like taking a bite of his food, looks over at the object approaching closer, kind of like chuckles as Kestrel like is acting from the spice, but keeps like doing all of this, and then like every few moments he looks down at his ball.
Okay.
He has like one hand full of food, one with this ball, and he's just like taking a bite, looking at the ball, looking at Kestrel, looking at the thing. Like he's totally engaged with everything that's happening.
Okay.
But as you guys are having this conversation and laughing at Kestrel for being really spicy, you guys do notice that the object approaches and gets closer. You guys notice that it's a boat. That people are not rowing, it seems to just be propelling itself. There is a loud vibrating humming noise, and as they get closer, someone goes towards the back where there seems to be like some type of box on the back, and they fuck with it. They seem to touch it or mess with some stuff, and the humming and rumbling dies, and boat slowly comes in and drifts to the sand, and then just slowly stops. And then standing in it, you do see two of the Serpentine people. Hey, Bill. Oh, you got some food for us, right? And he's like, oh yeah. And he points to his little thing where there's another bag. And they all walk over, grab the bag, like, oh, yeah, get any mashed potatoes? And he's like, nah, they didn't have any today. Damn it. Oh, cold cuts. And they kind of just grab from the bag, sit down, and start eating with you guys. And it takes a few moments before the male one, who apparently male, just kind of stops eating and looks up. Oh shit, yeah, you guys. I'm Crane. This is my wife, Dora. He seems more serpentine than her. Like he has very serpentine-like eyes, a lot of scales, especially around the arms, the chest, and the shoulder area. She has a little bit on her neck, and her eyes look perfectly normal human.
I just like wave and be like, hello.
Oh, hey, little one. So you guys are all the weirdos who just suddenly popped up, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And Bill's like, okay, let's not call him weirdo. I mean, it's pretty fucking weird. You guys just appeared. And the lady slaps him on his head lightly, kind of playfully, like, stop it. Just eat and shut your mouth.
No, he's true. I mean, look, and she points to Kestrel.
Oh, did Bill get you with the... Oh,
We're done
Bill,
with it. I gotta
Bill, we
finish it.
told you not to do that to people who don't know. You did that to that kid on his birthday party, and he cried. And Bill just kind of, like, shrinks a little bit. Like, don't bring that up now. So, as the lady speaks up, what are all of your names? Just so, um, she just starts with you, Scales.
Yeah, it's like, I'm Scales.
Oh, I love your scale coloring. It's so unique.
Thank
Oh,
you.
honey, she's very serpentine. I've never seen. And he's like, yeah. I mean, we thought my uncle was bad, but like, yeah, she is a snake.
What like scale colours are they?
More of a forest kind of green.
Okay, okay. It's like, you're pretty.
Oh, thank you.
I have fans apparently. Apparently you guys don't have fans, but I have fans like a
There are a few of us who still have remnants of them, but they're pretty much lost to us. Over the years, we've intermingled generations, so we've tend to lose a little bit of our serpentine-like.
It's good. And this in the bowl is Peeper.
Oh, so you guys got your Pico pets today, I assume?
Yep.
Yeah, mine is resting.
Oh, did you lose your first one?
No.
It's okay. I lost my first few. Like I couldn't. And the guy talks. He's like, yeah, she was just mad because her type didn't match up with mine, and I kept kicking her ass. And she kind of shoves him as he's eating, drops a little bit of food. Like, God damn it, woman.
No, Stone got what was it? The UU stone.
What?
Food face.
Yeah.
She's just been stuck in her face the whole time.
Yeah. Stone's one appeared to have licked Auntie's one, and Auntie's one ran down. It was awesome.
It just came out of the ball. Just came out of the ball.
How many licks does it take to get? I'm kidding.
Oh, did it hit with a really big tongue attack? Does it look like almost like a fart cloud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was mine that I had growing up.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he just kind of lives in our house for now, but yeah.
You're gonna live in our house, Slade. You're gonna do great.
And your name, young sir? And she looks towards you, Kestrel.
Castrol.
And you, as she looks towards you, Auntie.
We've been calling me Auntie lately.
Well, Auntie it is then. And Stone, I take it from that little exchange?
Yep, they call me Stone.
It is a pleasure to meet you. And she kind of, kind of politely shakes your guys' hand as she goes one by one, and then kind of looks towards the guy with her, kind of rolls her eyes, and then she continues eating with you guys. And eventually the guy kind of stops eating. So Bill, where do you want to take him first? And Bill kind of looks towards you guys. Well, it's your day to explore some stuff. Where you guys want to go? I've acquired you a boat and a wonderful set of nautical guides. We have Void Tip to Void Tip to explore.
Not the actual void, right?
I mean, we can get right up to it if you want.
I'd rather not.
Yeah,
No, I rather no. No.
The lady kind of giggles. It's perfectly safe as long as you don't get like a good 5 feet from it. Like the water's stable. There's no pull towards it or anything.
I rather no. No.
Yeah.
She kind of
Not
giggles. It's
today.
perfectly fine.
Um,
And Bill walks over, pulls out some stuff, walks back over to the mat. He pulls out a map, which you guys see.
mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have the entirety of the Isles to explore. We have the mining town. We have the Eastern Wilds. We have the various fishing towns and communities to the south. The main one is here. And as he points to it, the two Serpentine people go, yes, that's where we live. We're actually kind of in charge, sort of.
Okay.
Ah, cool.
So again, sort of. It's a kind of wide community of fishing groupings over there. So we're just the ones that kind of make sure that equal exchange between the home and the fishing people are maintained.
Ah, so the town elders.
Not we're not definitely the oldest. She kind of looks slightly offended.
Oh, I didn't mean like that. Just elder as in wise.
Well, as I understand, our friend here, he points to Scales, wants to know more about her people,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So maybe that'd be a good stop. Plus,
Well,
I could go for some fish later.
I mean, with fresh seafood, we definitely offer the best over there. None fresher.
Yeah.
Maybe then we could head over to Fishertown. I could introduce you guys to John and Gringe. They're our parents. And they're still kind of in charge, but you know, they're getting kind of old, so we're kind of taking over for them. But if you have any questions about our people and traditions, he's definitely the man to ask.
I would love to. I would love to.
Yeah, and in his side, he used to always study, you know, the ancient history of our people.
Scales is just looking all excited. Like,
Okay.
Oh, I have a question.
To whom?
The two.
Oh, yes.
Do your species eat like raw eggs, or is that just something we made up?
I think that might be something you guys just made up. And he looks, the guy stops eating, like stares up. Raw eggs. They're so much better when they're cooked. And he just continues to eat.
Scales is just gonna look over. Just.
Whoever it is.
I look over at Auntie. Just like.
Just menacing.
A lot of menacing this episode.
Yeah.
But you guys finish with your food, and Bill begins to start picking up everything. He says, "Don't worry, I'll take this stuff back to the eatery next time we roll in." But
As, sorry, go ahead.
but if you guys would, I almost forgot. This is from Doc, and he gives you guys each a small little white capsule-looking thing.
Alright.
You guys might want to take that before you get on the boat, just in case.
Okay.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, it's a pill that helps with. Sometimes people get a little sick while being out on the water. It helps with that.
So like, what do? Do you chew on it? Like.
Chew on it. Just make sure you swallow it.
Okay.
Okay. That's
You guys need some water or anything like that to get it down? I think I got some. Yeah, I got some water. Here you go.
Blap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come
It
on.
doesn't taste good.
Ah,
Kinda but you guys have had medicine before.
Yeah.
I'll take me pill and water. I'm like,
Take it.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
kid,
guys
you coming?
eventually get to it. And Bill goes to hand the kid one.
Mhm.
And he takes it. Holds it, and he's still kind of like staring at his Pico Pet. And he starts walking over to the boat and getting on. And for anyone who cares, the kid never swallowed it or put it in his mouth. He just has it in his hand along with the Pico ball.
I'm going to, as we're just getting all ready to go to the boat, I'm going to bump up to the kid. Hey, by the way, here's some dessert for after the meal. And I give him one of the green candies.
Ooh, thank you. And in an instinct, he drops the pill and grabs one of the green thing. He's like, grabs them, it goes onto the boat.
Do I see him drop the pill?
Yeah.
What? Oh, I'm going to pick it up and try to brush off
It's
the dirt.
in the water.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the boat is like, you guys are like a couple, like you guys have to step a little bit into the water to get onto it. Anyone who's wearing shoes, you guys can just take them off and just carry them that couple feet. But yeah, you see it in the water. It's like kind of just kind of there.
I'm going to try and grab it. Hopefully it doesn't
You do
dissolve.
so, it's breaking down pretty quick.
Oh, fuck.
But everyone kind of piles in. There's plenty enough for everyone. This isn't like a little rowboat. Like it's pretty sizable. Like a good maybe 50, 60 feet long. It's not super wide. There is definitely a lot longer than it is wide, but there's plenty enough room for you guys. Yeah. So if you guys would like to sit down.
As I'm sitting down, kid, you dropped this.
I'm gonna like stay near the other snake people and just like watch him listen to all their stuff. Like,
Okay. Since this is new information, he's gonna sit by you. He has a candy in one hand and the Pika ball in the other.
mhm.
He's currently trying to figure out a way how he can open up the candy without dropping the Pico Pet. It's very hilarious.
Here, kid, I'll do that for you. I'm absent.
Oh, thank you. Then he hungrily takes the candy.
I look to Castro. Can you also get him to take this pill before it finishes dissolving in my hand?
What pill?
You
Is
look
it
at your hill,
dissolved?
there's nothing. Yeah, there's like a little bit of stuff, runny, like goopiness in your hand. That is it.
Oh, no,
Instinctively,
it's your hand.
instinctively, I brush it off on my whatever pant leg.
Now you have a weird white stain.
Oh, I just look around. Just no one needs to know. Say it to myself.
Okay. Yeah. So eventually, Bill and the male serpentine help push the boat, like kind of move it off the sand. And it starts pushing off a little bit. They kind of move it a couple feet, and then eventually they start messing with the device on the back, and you feel the boat begin to propel. Definitely does not go as fast as the automated vehicle, but it's still pretty quick. And as you guys get further away from the beach, the wakes die down, and eventually it's kind of smooths out. There's a little bit of a bump as you guys are making your way out. And Bill looks over. Well, if we're gonna be making this trip, just let you guys know, we probably won't get there until nightfall. So, we're probably gonna have to stay over there for the night.
Okay.
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 So, you guys have quite a few hours to go. What would you guys like to do?
I don't know. I imagine like taking in as much information I see what the people are doing, how like the snake people are doing, try and make conversation with them
Who's
about.
watching
Talk
the
about the
scenery
town, that
outside
kind
of
of
the
thing.
boat?
I'm not.
As soon as it does get dark, Stone is gonna take off the glasses.
Okay, first, who's looking at the scenery outside of the boat?
I will till I fall asleep. So
Okay,
you
I
determine
need
how
you to
long
roll
that
me a
is.
Constitution saving.
I will.
You have advantage. Anyone who's looking at the scenery needs to roll a Constitution check with advantage.
As
19.
we're talking to the
Okay.
people.
I don't know if I would see if I'm seeing the scenery in general
It's
whilst
if
I'm
you're
talking.
actually looking at it.
Oh, okay, no,
I'm talking
then
about
no.
something very specific for
Yeah.
seasick.
I know.
Looking at the horizon always makes it worse.
Okay. Then no, I'm speaking to the people.
Dang it!
You have advantage because of the pill.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a moment, Stone, where you start to feel a little queasy, but you maintain it. Yeah. The rest of you guys, there's a little bit of in your belly, in your body, but you know it's fleeting, it's passing, it's very mild, it's ignorable. Those engaged with conversation, you barely even notice it. But as you guys are progressing, what would you like to discuss with them about?
I guess I would like to know more about their town, that kind of thing, and I'm sure Auntie has
Well,
pointers or not.
actually say it.
Okay. So, what can you tell me about this, the town? Fisher Town is what you said it was?
Fishing town, Fisher's place. I mean, it's the fishing community.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of spread out. There's a focal point in the center. A lot of it is small housing, pretty close to the beach, so a lot of it is kind of like his, but not so shabby. As she kind of nudges him, like, "Hey, I like it." But it's kind of like that. So there's a lot of docks over there. A lot of people have houses on the docks. It's just kind of a little bit more spread out than home.
Okay.
There's
And, are you all mostly, snake people, I guess?
The originators of the community over here and our people used to reside over on these side of the isles. There you will find more over there, but not the majority.
Okay.
I was gonna say, do you all have like green scales, or are you like different colors?
There's a few of us have a little bit more of sandy colors, but for the most part, it's either like a sandy or a green.
So people like mine.
Yours is a little unique. There's a certain pattern, though it could be just because your scale covering is so complete. We don't really have our kind that has scales covering so much.
And what was the name of the person they said to speak to, that knows the histories and stuff? It was like
That'd
that.
be John and Gringe.
John and Gringe.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted them down. And what was their names again?
John and Gringe?
No, the
Crane and Dora.
Kane and Dora.
Kane, okay.
Kane and Dora. Cool. Cool. Just noting it down. Yeah.
So is there like a town center, that kind of thing, or is like the docks like the town center?
For the most part, you'll find some of the bigger families and the bigger boats, mostly the bigger fishing vessels, kind of there. But there's again communities all spread out. She kind of give me the map, and she kind of like pulls it out and kind of points out like,
Mm-hmm.
most of the houses again they spread from here all the way through here.
Oh wow.
The ocean is very bountiful, so a good portion of the meat that feeds both all of our people comes from the ocean. And you guys have noticed that yes, there are other products, but yeah, there was a lot of options when it comes to seafood stuff. And Bill kind of
So-
looks over. He's like, yeah, our lands are unusually bountiful.
Yeah, I kind of noticed. Like I remember the forest. Like there was just like fruit everywhere.
Same with the animals too.
But at least you know you're not gonna go hungry anytime soon.
This is true.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's been more times that we've had an abundance of food than lack. But we try to only use what we need.
Yeah, of course.
The guy is just kind of sitting there. He's holding something that seems to be like steering the boat. He's just sitting there with like one hand on it and like one hand on his belly. He's just like, all right, just enjoying the full belly.
How is that scenery looking though?
It's very beautiful. The blue of the sky and the horizon almost match in some regards. So there's moments where you kind of lose the horizon and it just seems like you're staring at a giant blue expanse. It makes you almost lose scale of things. And as you guys get further and further away from land and you see less and less of it, eventually you get to the point where on all sides all you see is ocean. Depending like on point of view and stuff like that, there might be an occasional like little blip on the horizon that you can see from the mountain previous from the mining town, but that is it. There are a couple hours where you guys just see nothing but water.
I imagine before that point, Auntie fell asleep.
And the rest of you all?
I don't know. I'll go over to the good and be like, so how's it going?
Okay, you look from your left to your right and there's the kid.
No, I said like, how's...
Oh, you said you went over to the kid. He's
Yeah.
literally right next to you.
Okay, that's fine. No, I was gonna say, no, I could just talk and be like, so how's it going?
It hasn't moved or come out.
But that's a bonus, it hasn't left yet. Maybe it doesn't like the water.
Yeah.
Think positive.
And he just goes back to staring at it.
Yeah. Awkward conversation throughout.
I mean, how do you think a kid would feel if, you know, the one thing that you guys are having fun with, he doesn't work?
I don't know.
You know. Trust me, you know. Yeah, but if no one wants to ask or talk or do anything else, I can speed it along.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's probably for the best.
Okay.
I just committed to the joke that whenever Auntie travels, she sleeps.
Okay. Well, you guys proceed, and yeah, the sunlight eventually begins to fade. You guys again see the void as the evening rolls by. And the scenery does kind of warp a little bit from that. It's like blue, but then there's a clear cut horizon of just nothing. Kind of, gives a little ominous feel, especially on the expanse that is the ocean. Um, as you guys have a few hours of complete isolation from anything, it's kind of haunting and scary, especially with the void in there.
I can't believe the ocean is giving us menacing JoJo signals.
As someone who's lived many years on the ocean, trust me, it's a bitch. But yeah, eventually you guys, as the sun begins to fade, you do see lights dotting the distance.
Is that the town over there?
The lady looks up. Her husband's like barely staring off. Oh yeah, there it is. Get it. You're off a little bit, and he like, kind of looks over. He's like, kind of looking at all the lights, and you guys do notice that there's one that seems to be kind of higher up than all the rest by quite a bit. He's like, oh, there it is, and he starts guiding towards that way.
Did we
and-
see any creatures, anything really, as we were just driving through the sea at all?
Go ahead and give me a post haste perception check.
Random Pokemon counter. Woo, woo, woo.
You
Hmm?
saw some movement here and there, but it was kind of hard to tell. You don't know whether it was the waves or not.
I'm sure Stone squints her eyes as she's trying to determine if it was.
But yeah, you guys begin to approach, and eventually you guys get closer and closer. The lights become bigger, and then you guys do see the scenery. For a good couple 100 feet, to where you guys are kind of going towards, there seems to be a building with a light on top. Kind of a small lighthouse house at the tip of this docks, and for a few 100 feet to the left and right of it, extending quite a bit, you do see this woodwork dock with buildings and houses all along where the water is. Definitely quite a few feet over the water and not on land. A lot of it's built up on stilts, and it's just a set dock with all these buildings. And he kind of goes up to one of them, and you guys do see some people on the docks. There are various boats of different size, sailboats, things like that. Some of them, people seem to be pulling up barrels, boxes. Some of them have like cargo nets filled with like crabs and stuff like that. There's a few people on the docks that are showing off these very large fish. There's a few sharks, and they seem to be kind of showing them off. There's a few of them that are like gutting them, things like that. It just seems to be a pretty standard fishing dock. And eventually you guys pull up. A very large gray-skinned male kind of runs over as you guys are pulling up. Oh, hey, you guys are back. And the male kind of throws a rope to him. He kind of ties it off on this kind of metal, kind of like a T. It's almost like it's metal shaped in like a T, and he just kind of wraps the rope around it and tightens it, and you guys feel your boat kind of come to a stop, and he disengages the propulsion system, and they're like, okay, well, hey, give us a hand up, and they start helping you guys off the boat onto the dock.
Thank you.
Oh, where am I?
We're at Fisher Town.
Oh, alright.
Skizzy's just gonna get up and she's immediately gonna start like not going too far but just looking around like, ooh, shiny.
The kid follows you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is there. You guys are definitely getting some looks. There are a few people who are like talking and stuff, but kind of look over and they're kind of like whispering to each other, talking. You guys have seen this before. People are like, "Oh shit, new people," which, as you know, is weird for them. So you guys are quickly the talk of the town. But as you guys are pulling stuff off and like tying stuff up, eventually Bill and all of them get off the boat as well. And as you guys are kind of standing. Scales, since you were the first person to run off and start staring at stuff, you do see a very older looking lithe female pointy hair, kind of like dirty blonde hair, where it seems to have a few streaks of gray throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
And standing next to her, also approaching you, they're kind of like arms coupled together,
Mhm.
is a male with scales that seem to be very faded. And he has kind of white, kind of slicked back hair. Definitely seems to be aged. Male approaching you.
I just like stop for a bit and be like, wave, waving.
The gentleman softly waves at you, same with the female.
Uh,
And boop, 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 right past you, Dora and Kane run up. What are you guys doing out here? Come on, we were supposed to surprise you when we got back. And, he kind of raises his hands. He's like, there's no way you could surprise us. We knew you were coming. Fine.
Scales chuckles.
But look, the new people. And the guy immediately recognizes, or, acknowledges you with his eyes, but then looks over to Bill. So I assume by your late arrival you'll need some lodging for the evening, Bill? He's like, yeah, if you could, John. Okay, I can arrange it.
You're John.
Yes, I am. You've heard of me?
Yes, Dora and Kane mentioned you. You do the history and stuff, right?
Yes, I do. Are you interested in such a thing?
Nods very rapidly.
Oh, wonderful. As he kind of like pats you on your head a little bit. He's like, then we must make post haste and get you guys set up for the evening. It is kind of late. We have prepared a dinner, but I think it might be best if we save all the fun stuff for tomorrow,
Of
bright
course.
and early.
Yeah.
Right this way. Bill, you can. I told Karen to let you crash on at her place. You're gonna have to take it up with her. And he's like, Bill kind of sighs. He's like, not her. Come on. Now you gotta bury the hatchet, not me. But the rest of you guys, just follow us this way. And Bill
course.
begrudgingly starts wandering off in a different direction. He's like, I'll see you guys in the morning.
Hi, Bill.
Good night. He seems very upset with the situation.
Scales is
Something
already
about Karen.
Scales is already up here. She's all excited. Like,
The kid is following right behind you, but he's still like taking in all the sights.
Mhm.
I mean, I could give more description of this place, but just again, it's kind of a network of docks. It eventually connects to the land, and there are houses and stuff on there. But you guys are kind of being led to this very circular. Best way I can describe it is it looks like a very big tent. Kind of at the center point of the docks, there's the tent, about 5 or 10 feet separating it, and then there's like buildings apart from it. But this round circular tent structure seems to be very different and more pronounced than the rest of the stuff. And you guys get led to the opening of that.
What does it look like on the inside?
As soon as you guys step in, you can only see half of everything. You guess, because a good 10-15 back from the entranceway, there is a divider. Not so much Asian divider, but it is kind of like rice paper and wood. And
A
you do
yurt.
notice-
That's what I was trying to think of.
Yes. To the left, there is what appears to be a TV, a central table with these plush cushions. One that's kind of elongated, almost like a ground pillow couch. And there's just a few various ones over there. And to the right, there is a small table, very short, one that you'd have to sit on the ground to access. It looks like a kitchen or a dining room and a living room setup. And at where the dividers connect, you do see a door. This way is the living room and the dining room. And as they point there, you do see a young, very short, stout lady prepping plates and stuff like that. Cindy, is everything prepared? She's like, yes, and she kind of looks past John and Gringe towards you guys. Basically what you guys are used to, of like people ignoring other people just to see the new people.
Nice.
And she waves back. I didn't know what they would like or how they would like the food, so I prepared one of our classics. And John looks, thank you. Would you be joining us for the evening? Or and she's like, oh no, I still gotta go home and attend to my young ones, but I just wanted to, see them. And she kind of says that under her breath a little bit, but you guys clearly hear it. There's excitability to her, and she just kind of waves at you all. But yeah, I'll be getting to that. You guys, I'm sure I'll get to meet more of you tomorrow. But I'm Cindy. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the dinner. I prepared it. Um, and she just kind of awkwardly walks by you guys and exits the tent.
Thanks for the food.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Cindy is our helper. She assists us with certain tasks. But please, anyways, have a seat.
Sits.
Sits down.
You
Sits.
guys are hit with a gigantic buffet. You name it, seafood. There is a
Nice.
plate full of sushi. There is a plate full of fried calamari. There is various plates of fish. There is a few lobster tails, crab claws, like you name it. When it comes to seafood, it's probably on this fucking table.
Nice.
You just see like Auntie grabbing an entire lobster and plopping on the plate.
Yeah. There's plenty to go around, and there's multiples of everything. And John and Grinch take a moment to sit down. John seems to have trouble sitting down a little bit. Grinch kind of has to provide a hand to have him sit down. Kind of has to brace himself on the table. He's an older man, like easily pushing like 80s. But they eventually sit down, and they seem excited at those who immediately started grabbing food without saying or anything. But they both sit down, and they both hold hands, close eyes, and put their foreheads to each other, and you can hear them muttering something under their breath.
Oh,
Can I? Hmm?
And then after they finish their mutterings, they both say very quietly, "And we thank the coil of life." And they both
Aw.
begin to start grabbing the food.
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were religious folk.
Oh no, it's old beliefs that we have. Don't. We were once a divided people. We don't enforce anything on others. No, dig in. It's been a while since we've had our kids living with us, and it's nice to see young people grabbing at our food so much.
It does look good. Guess says he's loading up his plate.
I had a crab leg hanging out of his mouth, like shoveling shit on his plate. Like,
I was gonna say, was there any like I don't know, perception check I could do to hear what they were muttering?
I would like to do the same.
I will admit it happened so quick and you guys weren't expecting it. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
That's fair. I would like to say though, I'm surprised actually. Not many people here seem to be of the religious faith.
Oh, there are plenty. Don't get that wrong. It's just with the teachings of the sage, many people have drifted away with it. Even us, we only look towards the coil for more spiritual guidance in day-to-day life. We take some of their lessons and use them and apply them to modern times. How to treat your neighbors, how to treat other people, things like that.
So, I don't know if you would know much about other religions here, but how many have survived? If that's a weird way to phrase it.
To put it short, when the Great Division happened long ago, most groupings started their own religion. Sometimes it can be difficult to explain things in the world, and it can be easy to pass that on to religion and vice versa. So it doesn't take much for a primitive people to cling to things.
Sorry to make you back up. Great Division. What do you mean by that?
As our history goes,
Mhm.
before the sage's arrival, our people were divided for many centuries. Better part of almost 1500 years. During that time, many groups had formed, different races had combined. Us serpentine people had reclused ourselves to the Isles on this side. And once the separation and division happened, they remained isolated for many years until war and other things broke out. It's funny, you take people that were once one and together and you divide them up and add a little bit of time and religious belief, and we just turn into idiots. And he kind of softly chuckles under that.
I want to ask, are deities such as the Raven Queen or Palor even worshipped nowadays?
Who?
That answers the question.
It's a very, 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 very long story. Pretend we're idiots and we don't know anything.
We've been briefed on your current situation.
Good, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
That also saves us having to explain it.
Can I real quick roll something to know what knowledge Auntie has of religion of her time?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
20.
Names, general concepts, not anything too insane.
Okay, so I probably I know of the Raven Queen, I know
Yes.
of Palor.
But you don't know all of their tenets, you don't know
Yeah.
every little detail, you don't know all of their lore or their history, you just know of them.
So, because her Auntie's knowledge is actually more than mine, Auntie will kind of go, well, there's these kind of gods. This one's like a sun god. This one's about
He
death.
gets through a couple and he raises his hand. Our people did the same thing. Begins to explain kind of their belief system. It was polytheistic. And I'm going to save you guys some trouble. Very similar to what you would all recognize as players as kind of Egyptian culture.
Okay.
A lot of their gods revolved around animals. In base root, each one had their domain. Very similar to Egyptian. But instead of like worshiping, whereas Egyptians a lot of times they saw serpents as bad, their religion replaced cats and some of the better animals with snakes, and you have what they had. The names though are very different. I will provide a complete list if you guys would like it, but none of the names ring any bell whatsoever.
Can I get a list of the ones that stand out that maybe these people will talk than others?
Not really. They talk about the Great Coil, which was the serpentine one,
Okay.
which was kind of the center god that kind of connected all the other gods. It coiled at the center, and it's what kept the gods from both unleashing wrath upon their people and also making sure that the other gods could not escape. It acted as a force field and a prison to the other gods to make sure that they maintain their realms so that world and life could exist.
While eating, just Auntie sits back thinking.
Yeah, nothing whatsoever that you guys gather that these religions, as you guys talk, as they talk and discuss a few of them, they also discuss like the greenskins, what they believed, and a few other different races. None of them match whatsoever with anything you guys have. These are all post whatever religions.
Auntie will speak up then. If someone else wants to speak up, go ahead. I don't want to steal a spotlight.
I was gonna say, do I need to do an intelligence check to think of any gods that I would know?
I will say, just for general, you guys get the general ones.
Okay, nothing specifically serpentine.
Nothing
for me.
really. Yeah, nothing. I mean, you understand Zahir. You've heard of Zahir, god of snakes, poisons,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
You get that,
Okay.
but this is not that.
Yeah.
This one even seems very benevolent. Their serpentine. Basically, their serpent, the coil, kind of acts almost like a weird Cyrus kind of Ra situation, almost combined into one.
Mm-hmm.
Like a very protector, also, kind of the defender. And they tell you a few quaint stories and anecdotes and stuff about the religion, but no real connection. It's interesting, it's unique, but unless you guys have any specific questions, I don't want to just prattle on for like
Yeah, that's
3
fine.
hours about made-up religions.
Yeah.
I have the notes if you guys want more information as specifics.
Yep.
There's one specific that Auntie will kind of press on about, but not too much more.
Okay.
Auntie, speak up. Normally, you would think when religions evolve, there would be some kind of through line. This sounds like it's completely new. There's no through line to the stuff I know.
Oh, that's kind of the thing. Basically, nothing exists from post 4,000 years ago.
Hmm.
That's why I think so many clung to the teachings of the sages. He seemed to know more about our world than us, and he never spoke falsehoods.
Maybe he knows about our time.
You ever wonder if our time never happened? If we were ripped out of another world?
I mean, if we were, we've come to a pretty nice one.
That's
Yeah.
surrounded by a void at all times.
Like, I'll be honest, like, you know, just from what I kind of remember about what we knew or whatever, life didn't seem too good at that time. Seemed a little hectic.
And from what we heard from Bill, you all ran into some trouble when they first found you, and you seem to all be able to handle yourself pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back in our time, if you didn't handle yourself,
You'd be
didn't
dead.
really. Yeah,
Pretty much.
exactly.
They kind of softly smile at this, and they say, "I mean, besides a few guards up in home, there's no military force that exists here.
Yeah, I think.
It was all
Not
abandoned,
really,
many
not really a
centuries
need
ago.
for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We have enough riflemen in home to keep the wildlife in check. You know, there is the kraken in the ocean, but you know, it's best to just avoid it.
Wait, we crossed the ocean and there was a kraken.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary beast, but it mostly keeps to itself.
Well, that's terrifying.
I feel like we probably should have been told before we got on the boat.
Honestly, though,
Agreed.
like, Kraken, that seems to line up with our thing. I'm surprised that that still exists.
Really,
Yeah.
one quick, all of you guys roll for kraken because you guys are jumping into the
Oh, yep.
conclusion that you all know what a kraken is.
Okay, everyone, get cracking.
Yeah.
Uh,
Intelligence.
Intelligence, okay.
Can I have advantage?
No.
Oh.
That 0 at the other side.
15.
Okay. Anyone who rolled above a 12, you understand a tale of a mighty creature, mostly living in oceans and seas, that could tail rip boats from the sea, bringing them under to the crushing depths below. That's about it. Just kind of
Yeah,
second
so like I said,
bird
it
sand.
sounds like something from, like it would be from our time. I'm surprised something like that exists.
Well, they've always existed around here. Someone killed one a few, I would want to say it's got about 5 or 6 decades ago. Pretty big deal. There's in our community fishing place, there's actually a photo of it.
How does it make you feel knowing that we probably have more in common with a beast than people?
I doubt you have anything in common with them.
Yeah.
I was thinking more age and time, but fair.
I mean, if you are all really wanting to see one that badly, I mean, it is getting close to the season for them to appear. Got about a month, so.
Rather not, personally.
I mean, as long as you stay out of the water, it's 100% safe.
I rather not.
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't mind seeing a carcass or a painting.
I mean, again, tomorrow we can take you down to the main quarter house, and there's a nice sizable photo of the one that was captured long ago.
Cool.
So, question: are sharks still a thing?
You literally saw one on the dock on your way in.
I was groggy.
Okay, yes, you did.
I have a question.
Okay. Is that to me or them?
Them.
Okay. Yes, dear.
Do you have fans?
As he slowly opens up his mouth, you see two much smaller than yours, very less pronounced fangs.
I just go mine now and go.
His is immediately retract, and he's like, his eyes go wide. She even looks a little startled. Do you mind?
Oh, sorry, was that bad?
No. May I? As he's like gesturing towards them, like he wants to touch them.
Okay.
He kind of like wipes his hand with his, like the napkin, and he kind of grabs it. He's like, "Wow, those are interesting, to say the least."
Order
Are
guys.
they?
Sounds like some calamari.
Yeah, I imagine those girls has got her turn and be like, "Are they in them pen?" Like trying to talk with a mouth open while someone's touching her
He
teeth.
lets go. What was that?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, mine are the most impressive that we have amongst our people, and his look pathetic.
Huh.
I'm assuming it's maybe.
No need to show off, and he kind of pats you on your head.
I'm assuming it's a trait that is being bred out, maybe.
As our people have, endured over this millennia, yes, our traits have become less and less pronounced.
I suppose. I mean, back in our time, those traits would help you survive. I guess now, oh, everyone's surviving.
And yes, tomorrow I'm definitely going to need to hear some of your stories as well. We've taught you much about our past and religions. I would love to hear yours. From what Bill said, the details he gave me, your world seems very much more fantastical than ours.
But we don't remember most of it.
That's the issue. I mean,
Yeah, we're a little groggy.
I'd be
facts
more than
and
willing to take any of the details you may offer. Just consider it a gift to this old man.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I am more than happy to share tales. Don't get me wrong.
The lady kind of like rubs his chest a little bit. It's okay. He's always loved stories and mythology and stuff like that. And please indulge them. And she just kind of like smiles softly at you and then looks towards him. They're definitely an elderly couple that you can tell they've been together for a long time.
No.
But if that is all, if you guys go through this door, you'll find a little hallway. If you continue all the way to the back, you'll find the washrooms. There's 2 of them in the back. To the left is going to be our quarters. To the right door, you will have all of yours. We've already set up little cots, bedding, things like that. You won't need too many blankets. It doesn't get too cold around here, and we have a nice, gentle ocean breeze that goes through the tent, so you should find it relatively easy to find peaceful rest. And once everything settles down for the evening, you guys are right close to the ocean, so you'll hear that crashing, and it always puts my old bones to sleep.
Sounds good. Thanks for the hospitality.
And he does like a polite bow towards you. He says, considered a gift to myself," as he smiles. It's wonderful to be a part of something that, I mean, quite frankly, makes history. And he just softly smiles, and she assists him standing up, and they both do a polite bow towards you. And they begin to walk away. He leaves through the door first, and she looked back. And the food, again, you guys can pick at it until you guys are done for the evening. Cindy will be by in the morning to clean up.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't have one of everything.
I saw. And you can have one of everything again. And she just kind of politely bows and continues through.
Alright, now Kessel's going full.
Yay!
And the kid who's been quiet this whole time. So, you guys come from a different place than these people.
Kinda, like,
I guess.
it's kinda weird.
Sounds sad.
Why?
Well, I mean, you guys seem really excited and happy anytime you guys see and learn stuff. It makes me scared of what you guys came from.
Well, you came from where we came from too, I think.
Do I?
In theory.
That's the theory I'm working with anyway.
I mean,
If you came back to our era, I'm sure you would have done great.
honestly,
Well, will one of you guys tell me more?
If we remember it, we will.
Yeah.
can I roll to remember a story?
Sure. Give me an intelligence check.
Roll to remember.
Roll to remember a bedtime story.
Okay, you have a simple Fey anecdote. It's not something you experience. It's just kind of like an old fable that kind of jostles loose in your memory. It's a tale about the pixie, the fairy dragon, and the satyr. It's basically a little short story about ego, and humbleness. Um, and it's just basically a competition between the three that ended poorly for two of them who were just kind of too up their own butts about the situation and competition. It was won by the fairy dragon, who was the humblest and most polite of the three, who thought it could not win in the first place. And it's just don't count your chickens before they hatch, and don't let your ego get in the way, kind of story. But the kid is 100% enthralled throughout the entirety of it.
So
then
for
once
all
you're-
that, do you need a charisma check?
And when he finishes it, he just kind of stares at you and he goes, "Oh, that was nice. What's a pixie, satyr, and fairy dragon?"
See, like,
anyone?
can I imagine like a mini person, like very mini, and like he's kind of like using like his hands to like to show the
Between all of
size.
you guys
Yeah.
give him a rough.
Yeah.
And they could fly. He's doing
guys-
the actual motion of flying, like with their hands.
You guys kind of each help each other to fill in the details. There's some kind of conflicting information. You guys kind of wonder about that,
Mhm.
but your memories are still kind of rough.
I imagine someone walks out unless we're like all doing a bunch of weird ass hand gestures and like.
No. They don't go like that. They go like this.
It is just you guys in this tent.
Okay.
The fairy dragon is the biggest, most ferocious ones of all. No, they're not that
Yeah,
tiny.
Some of the stories don't match up.
Actually saying that, just in the background, you'd see just slightly blurred Auntie shaking her head. No,
No.
no.
But eventually he kind of peters out a little bit, and it is starting to get kind of late. It's like, well, what about these dragons? Are you guys gonna tell me about? But he's petering out.
I just kind of rub his head. It's like, well, tell you more about it in the morning.
Okay.
Get some rest,
Is
little guy.
it bedtime?
Are
Yeah.
you sleepy? She's.
No, I'm not sleepy, and he
Ca-
clearly looks.
Come
Uh,
on,
as
you.
he's-
Let's go to bed and I'll take him to bed.
Oh, I was just gonna straight up scoop him up. That works.
Okay. You guys guide him to the bed. You guys find the room as exactly as they described it. There's a cot for each of you guys.
Okay, which one's the biggest?
They're all about the same size.
Damn it.
No superiority.
Put the kid in one and I'll go in the one next to the kid.
Okay, you do so.
Just sitting at the table, still just, yeah, they're pretty good kids.
Aren't they precious?
I imagine Stone's still picking at food.
Yeah.
Question,
I
how...
will say,
Sorry.
go ahead.
How thin are these tentacles?
Pretty thin. But they're also not yelling, so you're probably not hearing much.
Damn it.
You saying Stone's getting full, Damon?
You guys are all full, and
Oh yeah.
those who stayed awake on the boat ride, there is rocking and stuff like that, which does use muscles that, many hours, even someone who's sleeping and not used to it, have to use, so you guys are feeling pretty tired.
One
I
last
had that
play.
too.
Auntie's just doing the thing of just sipping on a drink right before bedtime.
They had wine at the table. It's pretty fucking tasty.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the hay. Night, guys.
All right.
Night, Kestrel.
Sleep well. See you in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, at
so
this
that-
point, Stone, you should be really happy you have a very flowy dress, or it'd be tight.
Fair enough. Come on, Slade.
It pops out of its ball for a second and then slowly drifts back into
What
it.
kind of sound does it make?
None.
Oh, come on. Good sound.
Nope.
That
It is awkwardly and hauntingly quiet.
It doesn't make sounds, it just has menacing symbols.
Yeah.
It's miserable. I love it.
That-
Still loves it.
I was gonna say that reminds me. I'm gonna be hugging my peekaboo. Just hug.
Okay.
While everyone's checking, I'm just going to hold out my peekaboo. You doing alright there? Recovered yet?
Pops his bird head out, looks around. Lands out,
Don't-
lands on your wrist.
Don't worry, it's safe this time. I think. And I look across the table at Stone.
Slade just pops out of the ball. Just looks staring menacingly.
The bird poofs up and just stares at it menacingly. A rivalry has formed.
I think that's a good thing to just end card that.
But you guys eventually, you guys are starting to get tired.
Eventually turn in.
Yep, turn in.
And as you guys are drifting to sleep, you guys are all each in your individual cots. Sleep begins to take you. You all hear a voice inside of the back of your heads. I hope we can stay in this new place forever. And that's where we're gonna end tonight's session. So go ahead and end the stream. We will see you guys on Tuesday for extra special New Year's something.
Yay.
Something. Bye.
Something.
Something.
Bye.
Bye.